Is that right?
Morning, people. Look
Good
who my
morning.
co-hosts are,
Happy,
these lovely
happy
ladies here.
Friday. Happy, happy Friday.
No, you know what I put it down as? Saturday Eve.
Yes.
Hi, Shauna, Leo's wife. Good
You
morning.
know, they don't let you go live unless you put a title in. And you know how hard when you go on like I do, it is
Oh,
to
I
find a
know.
title
I know.
all the time. Like,
I used to hate that. I hated that. Every
well,
time I did that to me,
okay,
too.
so yeah. So I'm not in the drama community. So it's kind of hard for me because, I don't want to put something up that's drama related, because I'm not in there. Hi, Shauna. Oh, wait, Shauna, you got a link now. Look,
Shauna, Shauna.
wait, why isn't it let me? Oh, I see. I didn't. Okay. Here we go. Shauna's getting a link.
Shauna.
Did you see Shauna on Jenny Jen Jen's panel the other
No.
day?
I don't think.
Leo? Leo's wife?
I
Did you
did.
see her?
I
Was
did.
she not the classiest lady ever? Like, I loved watching her and listening to her. I'm putting my cup up because I feel like crap this morning. I slept. What is that? How many hours is that? Dory,
Hi,
come on up,
Dory. Good
honey.
morning, Dory.
Come on up, honey.
My Dory girl.
Open panel. I don't even care if I have no mods. I have no mods.
Everyone in
You
chat
know
is
what?
up here.
Lately, though, I haven't had like a lot of trolls or a lot of
I know, it's nice.
nastiness in
Isn't
my.
that nice?
Oh yeah, it's really nice because I don't think people in the early morning, really want all that
Right.
stuff going on. I
No,
think
I
they
know,
just
I
want to
know.
get ready for work and go to work. I don't know about Leah's wife, but that's my opinion, anyways.
Yeah. Good morning, Samara and Dory
Hey, Samara.
and
Hello,
baby.
Cheryl.
Samara.
Oh, here's Dory. Hey, Dory, how you doing, babe?
Hey, I've been up all night with Molly. Oh my goodness. She did
Oh
it.
yeah,
She's still on.
uh,
Oh, she stopped now. She
oh, did
stopped
he?
a few minutes ago.
Nanya was telling me that she was on. I'm like, she's on? Because usually she's
Yeah.
not on early in the morning.
It was
She goes, she's
it was
like,
Mary O's birthday.
it was whose birthday?
Mary O. And they
Oh, okay.
met up in person and she came over and they did a live together. And then Mary
Oh,
went to her bed, staying over at Molly's.
Oh,
And Molly just stayed up and
that's what I said. She must have been
she
up all night.
never went to sleep. So I laid down and listened to him, but I never really slept because I just can't sleep right now.
yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Well,
So
it was good talking to you yesterday, Dory.
and she was Molly mentioned me at the beginning of her live. So I said hi and said I was there. So that was like really sweet of her to just she does remember me because I've gone to her chat for a long time.
Yeah.
So a lot of the people that know me from there. So
That's good.
yeah.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. Okay. I wasn't sure because sometimes StreamYard's been so wonky lately. It, you know, So it's an open panel today, guys. Anybody that wants to come up, talk about it. I was going to watch Pink's live. Oh, there's Robbie. Robbie, get up here for a minute. Get up here for a minute because you have to tell me. I'm so sorry. I went to bed at 7 o'clock last night. I missed Pink, so I'll go back. Hopefully she kept it up because I missed it last night. Or can give me a link to go watch it because I missed it. They were doing a parody last night and I missed it. It. Damn it. Damn it, all to hell. So I was gonna have Robbie.
Yeah, everyone's live because Molly's just continued on, so I just laid down to listen, and just stayed on all night, the whole night.
Is she still live?
She just stopped like maybe 5 minutes ago.
So she's been up all night.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, then I couldn't do that. I can't stay up all night anymore.
I've never seen her do that before ever. I have no idea why she.
Well, they were celebrating.
Yeah, but
right?
Mary O went to bed hours ago.
Was Mary O in her house? Like they were
Yes, yeah,
coming alive? Oh,
she
okay.
was at her house.
Okay, because she was there. They were there. Her and Goldilocks. I always want to call her Goldilocks mom.
Interlocks.
Gingerlocks mom were there not too long ago.
Yeah, no,
You know,
she was
at
at
parties.
Molly's house. And I guess they had attempted to go out to celebrate, but there was like nobody around. It was kind of spooky. So they said, "Mm, no, let's just go back to the house and drink some wine." So that's what they did and went live.
Mm. Well, I missed it. She'll probably put it on private though. She usually puts hers on private, so I won't get to see it. So she was on for many hours then.
Over 8 hours.
Oh my God.
I've just never
Oh,
seen
Robbie's going
her
back
do
to
that
bed.
before.
Robbie doesn't want to come up. He doesn't even want to come up and talk to me. I'm so crushed.
Robbie, Saint Robbie. No.
Shauna, come up here. I just want to talk to you for a minute. She was awesome the other night. She was so awesome. And she was so gracious. Were you and Jenny Jen's the other night, Dory? When Shauna
Yeah,
was up?
I was there and I did
She
see
was so
her.
gracious
Yeah.
and she was so kind and she was so willing to answer questions. And she said right off the bat, if I don't want to answer a question, I will tell you I'm not going to answer it. But yeah, she was really it was really informative for me. And I told a joke yesterday, and I hope you didn't get offended. I don't know if you heard the joke, but my husband and I went to Party City to get costumes for Halloween. And
Oh,
did you hear that joke? It's not a joke. It really, really happened. So we're looking for costumes to get for Halloween. And I don't know if he was transsexual or transvestite or a crossdresser, but he was one of the three. Or she. I don't know how to address them, but they had he was dressed up and he was about 6'4". He must have weighed at least 225 pounds, and beautiful, the most beautiful face I've ever seen. Like the makeup was spot on. And we're shopping and we're trying not to look or stare, because it's quite obvious, it's quite obvious. So this guy comes up and he says, he turns around to this person and he says, "Boy, if I ever go to prison, I hope you're my cellmate." Oh my God, my husband and I, we had to just keep walking because we almost lost it. And the person I'm talking about, the person that was shopping, the crossdresser or transsexual, or whatever she or he was, or they were, that's what I'm supposed to say. Whatever they were, laughed. I mean, it wasn't anything like, they didn't get insulted by it. They didn't get mad about it. It was just funny. It was just funny. But they had the most beautiful face. I mean, she knew how to put makeup on. Like, I could take makeup tips from that lady.
They usually
If it
do.
was a lady, I really don't. This was probably over 17 years ago. Like, that's how long ago it was. So I don't know when it wasn't like you didn't, you never saw a lot of, that anymore. Like today, like it wasn't like, you didn't see a lot. So I'm trying to say stuff and I'm probably insulting everybody by the way I'm telling this story, but it was just funny. It was funny. Shauna's going to come up. She said, "Give me a few and I will be up." Yay. And anybody else that wants to come up, I can have 9 people on my panel. So, who's clicking?
Me,
Why?
because I'm trying to get my computer,
your computer?
Yeah, but my laptop now is giving me a hard time about changing my network.
Just take your time. We can deal with the clicking.
If it gets too annoying, let me know and I'll put it back in because I'm starting to get annoyed that my computer's not picking up my settings.
Just let it just like put your earbuds in until your computer fires up. You
Yeah.
don't have to worry about it.
That would make sense, you know.
Duh. It's early in the morning.
I'm telling you.
Oh, Leo's wife is back.
I haven't had
I'm
my
back.
coffee yet. I have not had my coffee.
Did you see the video I made for you, Dory?
No, I didn't. Not yet.
It's the last one before
Dory.
this one.
I
I
swear.
hope you like it.
I was literally up the whole night,
Yeah.
but I was laying down trying to sleep. So I
Well,
didn't look on. I didn't see anyone else's lives, or I'll have to go back and see if there's anything I can rewatch.
it actually wasn't live. It was just a video I put up.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, just a video.
I had some pictures of my son. I was looking at them yesterday.
Oh, gee, you should get who's really good at making videos? If you want to do like a memorial.
I was thinking
for
of
him.
maybe Jenna Moon.
Jenna could probably do it. I'm sure she would be honored to do it.
I don't
She's
have
really,
many.
really good.
I have the pictures from his Facebook page. I don't have any of their baby pictures. I gave them all to my other son last year when they came to visit. They took all the
Ask him
pictures.
to email them to you. Email them to you, and you could put them all.
Yeah. So yeah, like on his Facebook, there's maybe 7 or 8 pictures, and a couple with him and his big brother when they were younger. You know.
Here, this is it. Sorry.
Yeah.
He
So,
didn't
yeah.
really
Thank you,
age.
Tees.
He
I
looks
got
like
3
he
job
was
offers
really
yesterday.
young.
Finally, yay! Got to go drug test now and fingerprint now. Good for you, 2 tacos. Congratulations. Is it doing the same stuff? Is it doing the same job you're doing now? I'm not going to say what it is. Don't worry. I'm not going to dox you. I know what she does. Hi, it's quiet. Crickets. Crickets.
Sorry.
Crickets. Come on. Keep
I'm
it
like-
going.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh. Yesterday, because my husband, there's
Yes.
something been eating something, you know, in our garden. I say my husband's garden because he does the gardening here. Because he's good at it. If I have a plant, it dies. Okay, so remember, Dory, I told you about that squirrel yesterday?
Yeah.
It died.
Out in the sun.
I don't know what it did, if it jumped up and hit its head,
Oh.
but we set the trap for the woodchuck, not
Not
the squirrel, but the squirrel, and he's been setting it with apple cores. And the last time we got a squirrel, they were fine. But when I went out there, it was dead, and I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch it. I don't know, maybe if it had like any kind of disease or whatever. So I made my husband go out and get it. But it was dead.
Oh.
So you remember me saying that, right? And I was
Yeah,
worried too. I said to my husband, I said,
it had you know how they in
Jenna, good morning.
a lot they slide your newspaper inside a plastic bag. Like
right?
So one morning I got up and I found the paper with the squirrel had tried to get inside the bag and suffocated.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, it was in the cage and it was moving around. Because remember, I told you we caught one. It was moving around fine. When I went out there, it was gone. Like we got it. We've caught a squirrel. We've caught a rabbit. We've caught a woodchuck, and nothing's ever happened to them. And this is the first time that we've ever caught one that actually was not alive. Jenna, come on up.
Jenna. It's Friday.
This is open panel today. Anybody's up.
Hey, Jason, good morning.
Leo's wife, did you think of a sexy name? Does anybody have?
Hi,
Who has the
Evelyn.
chat?
I
Leo's
didn't
wife
say
wants
sexy. I said spicy.
Oh,
Spicy.
sorry. Spicy and sexy mean the same thing to me. Okay.
Hot
Does
tamale.
anybody in the chat? Yeah, hot tamale is not bad. The hot tamale. I have a sexy or spicy. Sorry, Sorry, not sorry. Everybody's been saying that. Did you know that was trending for a while? Because I always
Yeah.
said that. Sorry, not sorry.
Oh, geez.
So funny.
Saturday Eve open panel. I just thought I just got connected on my laptop because I had to do the new
Oh,
router
did you?
connections. Yeah.
Anybody in the
Oops.
chat?
Wait,
Yeah, hot
hold on.
tamale
You're
is
gonna.
not bad.
Oh, where's I gotta shut off the.
Can anybody in the chat? Molly. Oh, you've got your YouTube going.
I know, and I'm trying. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to find my damn.
Okay, mute for a minute.
Where's my volume?
Mute for a minute.
There you go.
Okay. Anybody got a spicy?
Carly, you got a new picture today.
Yes. Does it look like a penis?
No, it doesn't look like a penis, thank
No.
God.
Yeah. It's kind of a
Jeez.
cartoon picture.
When
It's a
I clicked on there the other day, I'm like,
I know it was though. You were
what
right.
in the hell does she have on her head?
I looked and looked and looked, and I don't see a penis on there. I do not.
Oh,
God.
I don't know where you
Carla.
see the penis. You're going to have to point it out to me because I really don't. Wait, is it? I think I deleted it from my thing because when you said that, it freaked me out. Okay, here
Yeah.
it is.
This one's kind of cool
Okay.
that you got now.
Now, where is the penis?
Oh, did you put it back up there?
Yes.
Okay,
I don't
look.
see it.
Okay, look
Oh.
like right above your nose looks like
Yes.
the edge of the head of the penis.
Yeah. What is
Oh my God!
what is hanging over your face like that?
Now I see it.
That's what, and I didn't want to say anything because
Oh
I was
my
like,
God! Whoa!
that hat
Yeah.
looks like a
Speaking of,
penis hat.
Penis.
Yeah, you can delete that.
Molly's
Delete.
will probably have to come down for at least in time for her to edit out because she got porn last night too.
She
gee.
did.
Well,
What
it
is
was
going
that
around?
it wasn't.
Have to
She
get
had
her.
Helen DeKellar up on her panel, and so it wasn't him, but it was like exactly what
doing that?
Helen DeKellar usually does.
Really?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
understand why people do that. That is so
They think
ridiculous.
it's funny. It's
My
not
life
funny.
with
I
the
don't
name
know.
Savage Live,
It's weird.
and I thought Savage Live was a real. Well, she is a real person.
Yeah, you thought it was her. Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
think it was her, and as soon as I heard, and then I panicked when I saw.
Oh,
Wow.
whoever it was had used what's her name? That cheese lady from RDA. Cheesy.
Good morning, Ems.
Hi,
I don't know.
Pam's.
I don't know much about RDA.
Yeah, I don't either.
Here,
Well, I used to watch Lemonade a long time ago, so I
has
would
the best
see all those
story.
people there.
You don't. I don't. See, there's very few. I watch Jenna Moon. I watch, I watch the regulars like Amanda Lynn. I watch Hello Starlight. Molly once in a while. She hasn't been on a lot much lately.
I used to watch Lemonade because I couldn't sleep
Exactly.
at night, and she'd be the only one on. So I just watch her, even though I'm not crazy about her. She's a little weird to me, but
Well, everybody has their opinion about different people. People think I'm weird, which is fine. It is what it is.
yeah.
I know people don't think I have a life because I'm on every morning, but here's the thing. I get on early and I'm off early, and then I'm done for the whole day. I can do what I want.
And some of us are elderly like me,
Mhm.
so it's
Yeah,
hard for me to just get out because
Wait, I'm 108. How old are you? You're a baby.
I'm 408 if you're 108.
Now I've been compared to a 72-year-old. I'm
I'm
65.
64.
I'm 62, and I said pick one and stick with it.
Every day.
I'm actually
Hi,
64.
Jenna.
I'm 62 and loving it.
Yeah. It was great when I was 62. I was a lot more mobile then. I don't know.
Say hello to
Years
Jenna,
ago.
ladies.
He had a scan yesterday, so
I
I'm
know.
hoping the doctor calls us today.
You guys hear?
Waiting.
You
Oh.
guys see that Jenna's up?
Hi, Jenna. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, yay! We can hear her.
Hi, Jenna. Jenna.
Oh,
After
Jenna,
this, after
Dory
this
was-
live, we're gonna get together because I got to do that thing with you. Okay.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Okay, it sounds like a secret.
Good morning,
Well,
Dory.
I'm just gonna start.
Morning,
I'm
Jenna.
gonna start doing Thrive. I'm going back on it
Oh,
again.
the Thrive. Yeah, you guys were talking about that.
I'm going back on it again
Our
because they
girl,
have candy cane cups.
Jason,
Are you
JoJo.
ignoring me, Leo's wife?
I said good morning. You just kept running your mouth and ignored me.
Oh, well,
Damn.
she's still
Where's
terribly hurt
Yeah,
because
that
Where's
was
my
that
real
was
one
a
at?
catfish.
you cheated on her. What do you expect? Found out with a
Yeah.
post-it note.
Leo's wife is a catfish. Look how gorgeous her
Catfish.
avatar is.
I know. Catfish.
Catfish. She led me on.
She led you on.
Now she knows she looks better on camera than she does in her picture. So that's
I do not. You're
yeah, you do.
You're so
I
cute.
know. I was
Yes, you
shocked I
do.
got
Oh my
friends with
God.
Leo.
And her hair is thick. I'm so
I know those curls,
insanely
those
jealous
gorgeous
of
curls.
that hair of hers. How long does it take to dry? If you don't blow dry it, how long would it take to dry? Just
Well, I washed it this morning I was in the probably about 5:30 and
My hair's wet too.
it's still pretty wet, yeah. I
yeah,
don't ever blow dry it. No, I never blow.
almost 3 hours and it's still
Really?
wet.
And it
No,
looks
I
that pretty?
Mine
never
would
blow
take
dry
like
hair.
mine would take like 15 minutes to dry.
Oh wow.
Mine's about 20
Because I
minutes
don't have thick. Well, look, come on.
because I have
Like,
curly
there's
hair
no
too.
look. There's
And
Yeah, your hair's short. Yeah.
and my mother gave me her thin hair. That oh well, it is what it is.
I have
Yeah.
fine hair, but it's curly. Not curly, it's like that wavy kind of.
You don't look like you have fine hair. You look like you have pretty thick hair.
It's
Hey,
fine,
guys.
but it's thick, if that's possible. Because
I
my
like
hair.
Nanya's hair. It's very fluffy looking. I love it.
Oh, thank you. But I have to dry it like that, and it
I
takes
think
me
she's
like.
sleeping in. I think she's probably sleeping.
Who is?
Evelyn's asking where misdemeanor
Bye,
is.
sweetheart.
I
love
messaged
you.
her. Did you talk to her at all?
I talked to her last. I talked to her last night for a
Oh,
I
little
went to
bit.
bed at 7:30. When I messaged you, I went to bed. I seriously went to sleep.
I went to bed right after dinner last night. Like I went
I went to
upstairs.
bed at
and I said,
9:30, and
Are
that's
you going to
early
bed?
for me.
Oh my god! I was up till like midnight, 1 o'clock. That's why I'm up. I woke up at 8 o'clock.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
Early for some people.
Well, I
that
don't
is
8 o'clock
early
is
for
early
some
for some
people.
people.
That is. You're right.
Oh yeah, I never go to bed before 1. But
Me neither.
last night I was
Last
just
night I did.
ill. I woke up ill and I went to bed ill. I was just ill all day yesterday. I don't know why.
No
Just-
way.
Yeah.
Better.
Oh, my brother-in-law had to go to the emergency yesterday, and
Oh,
here's
Why?
what, I'm on the phone with my boss, and I'm talking, and he comes by the little office that I'm in, and he's like, I heard him say to his mom, I don't know, I'll see if she wants to take me, and he's like standing there, and I go, what's up? And I had to mute my boss, and he's like, you want to take me to the hospital? I go, he goes, the ER? I go, no. I'm on the phone, my boss. And then I'm getting scared because his company, every like 2 or 3 weeks, somebody's got COVID. And then they clean it up, and then he goes back, and I'm like so worried about that stuff. So apparently he has diverticulitis.
yeah.
And it must have been acting up on him because he said his stomach hurts really bad. And when he called the doctor said, go to the ER. So apparently he went and he called his mom. He says, he doesn't have COVID because they gave him the test. But they want to keep him overnight because of his diverticulitis. So I don't know if it's like acted up that bad that they have to, keep you overnight. I'm not.
Morning,
My mom
Amanda
has
Ray.
it too. But
Morning, Amanda Ray.
is
Here.
anybody familiar with
I was going to say good
diverticulitis?
morning to myself.
I think you could be. I think you could be admitted for that. Like if you're having a flare up. I think I've heard of people like when they have a real bad flare up, they keep
Yeah.
them so they can keep them on meds or whatever.
Yeah,
until it
something like
passes.
they have to give him antibiotics. But I was like,
Yeah.
okay, then why does he have to be in the hospital? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to understand this because my mom has it, but she has never had it that bad where she had to go to the hospital for it. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So,
Wow.
like, what are their what is it? And what are their flare ups? You think I would know this?
I think it's when you have like little pockets in your colon, I think.
Okay.
And
My
like
mom does.
if you eat nuts or corn or
Yes.
anything popcorn, you put it gets stuck in there. And then it a flare up
Ah.
and it causes an infection. So then
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
Good
I
morning to
think
Shauna, ladies.
He
good
doesn't, but
morning.
he's so good
Morning.
about that. He won't eat
Good
corn. He
morning,
doesn't
Shauna.
eat nuts. So I'm trying to figure out. So what did he eat?
Smoky Tea is
But
in the
Yeah.
house.
my fiance
Oh,
said,
Smoky P. Good morning. Good morning. It's open panel this morning. If you want
"Hi,
to come up,
smoky peas."
I can have. See,
Good
I can
morning,
have 3 more
Shauna.
people up.
Yes,
Hunt is coming up.
Good morning, everybody.
Well,
Can you all hear me okay?
Yeah,
yes, we
hear
can
you
hear
just
who just
fine.
came on? Who just came on?
Shauna,
Hi, Shauna. I love her.
Good morning.
How are you?
you
Oh,
know your
Good. How
she
name.
are
has
you?
a little accent there.
I do. I'm from Massachusetts, so I might have
Yeah,
a
you
problem.
do. A little
You know,
dialect,
it's
I
kind
picked
of
it up.
like that. Oh, I'm gonna pack my car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love
So I
it.
That's
like
where
H
I'm
instead of
from.
R. That's just where I'm from. I can't help it.
And
Can I
I'm
it's
from
cute. I like it.
I just
I'm
want
from
to say,
I'm from
Shauna,
Massachusetts too, so we say car in the Berkshires. Going to the
Yeah.
Berkshires,
That's
yes.
why I
Mhm.
type my coffee talk,
Your
because
Yes,
that's
coffee.
that's
coffee
my
coffee.
talk.
talk.
Let's
Yeah.
talk over coffee and donuts. That's what I
How
like.
do you say how do you say breakfast? I say breakfast, and people are like, no, it's
Breakfast.
breakfast.
Yeah,
And
breakfast.
I don't say it right either. They
Yeah.
crack up. They're like,
Well, you
where
say
is
it right for you. We've got
I do.
Pittsburghese hate Pittsburgh. They call it Pittsburghese here in Pittsburgh. They say things like, "I'm going to red up my house," which means, I'm going to clean up my house.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not trying to be nebby, which means, I'm not trying to be nosy. And they have a few other words. I can't remember off the top of my head because I'm old. So, Shauna,
We're not old.
I just wanted to say you were so gracious and so classy the other night. I watched practically the whole time you were up there, and I was just amazed. You were just you were able to answer everybody's questions, and it was great. I really enjoyed it.
I
Thank you.
Yes,
appreciate
amazing. Yes, she was. You were fantastic, and you were so good at articulating everything for people to understand. It was just amazing. I loved listening to
I'm
you.
going to mute you guys because I need to fix my hair.
Oh, rude.
Otherwise, because it's short, it gets really curly now that it's short. The curls will spring up. And I don't like, I mean, my girlfriend and her husband are like, why aren't you keeping your hair like that? I go, because I look like Bozo. I just don't like it.
I wanted to
So
ask
what
a
were you
question,
saying?
but I never did get up on panel the other night. Um, did you before you were a transsexual, correct? Shauna, I'm talking to
Yeah,
Shauna. Or
transgender.
is it
Yes.
the transgender? Okay.
Well,
Did you have to?
the correct terminology is right. Sexual or gendered. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So did you have to have an operation?
Did I have to?
No. Did you have to? No. Did you have to go to like get therapy? Because I've heard that you have to like go to therapy and make sure that you're really ready to, I mean, like from
Yeah.
shows
So
I've watched and stuff.
I did mine out of the country, and I don't recommend that. But this was before all of the regulations. Now, I believe now it's very different. You do have to have a lot of um, counseling. You have to have approval from your
Yeah.
psychiatrist and a
Hmm.
doctor.
Hmm.
Um, I was already on hormone replacement therapy, so I did have that. But my surgery is a little bit different than what they do now because they didn't have the technology. Um, it's almost it can be considered mutilation, but for me, it was more of a cosmetic thing than a functional thing. I hope that makes sense without being too graphic. It's something that I needed to have to look at myself. So it's, I will never be a woman. I will never, that will never, my downstairs area will never be function like that, but it does look like that. And that was important to me.
But no, I kind of object to you saying you'll never be a woman, because to me you are a woman. You know what I mean? Not
Yeah.
object, but you are. For all intents and purposes, you are a woman.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, to me, anyways, I don't see you as anything different than a
I
lady
agree. I totally agree.
and a classy lady.
I don't get hung up on the labels, but I think it's very important to celebrate femininity and womanhood too. Like with the idea, I think it's so amazing, the idea of what a woman's body can do. And so if some people feel like, and it does happen, some people feel like a transgendered woman is trying to replace by a regular woman, a cisgendered woman. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to discredit anybody. I'm just trying to live my life. So I choose to call myself a transgendered woman. I put that transgendered in front of the woman because it's comfortable for me, and to me it tells everybody that I am just who I am. I'm not trying to replace anybody or discredit anything. I'm just trying to live my life and not want to kill myself at the end of the day.
And Evelyn has a question for you. She says, do you have any opinions on teens being on hormone therapy?
Yeah, every case is different, but I think being in the teenage years is a little bit better to start your transition. Medically, it's difficult because I stated the other night that if I had been on testosterone blockers, my body would have looked different and I would have appreciated it more. But it's hard because I studied psychology, so I know that the brain development doesn't stop until you're well into your early 20s.
Mhm.
So I think everybody's different. You have to take it on a case by case basis. But so that's just basically it. If you feel like you're ready, then go for it. Who am I to tell you no?
Were your parents supportive of you?
Yeah, but it took them a while.
Okay. I can understand that because I'm not sure how I would react. I mean, of course, I would still love my child, but I'm not sure how I'd probably be a shock. You know what I mean? Like it would probably be a shock to me, but of course, I would still love them. I would want them to know that nothing would change that.
You know what I didn't share on Jenny's panel, which I'll share with you because I feel comfortable, is what led me to start my transition is that I got heavily addicted to drugs, and I was really self-medicating in order to survive. And when I started sobering up, I had to look at what was going to prevent me from doing that again. What was going to prevent me from self-destructing? Now, I still have some self-destruct modes and I still get depressed, but for me, it was being truthful with myself. And that's when I started my transition, is when I got sober, not right away. It took a while. Took a while to get comfortable with myself. But I did the 12-step program thing. I had a sponsor. I did all of that. So it speaks straight to my heart when I hear you talk about your son, or when I hear Jenna Moon talk about her issues, or talking about recovery, because it's very serious for me. And I feel like if I hadn't gone through that process, I wouldn't have transitioned. I would have been stuck in that. That's not possible for me.
And it's been a healing for you because you have accepted who you are. Am I correct? And
yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad you are who you are. And like I said, I don't consider you like a transgender woman. I just consider you a woman. I've never, to be honest with you,
to me, she's just Shauna.
She's just Shauna. She's always been Shauna to me, and I love her name because that's my daughter. That's my firstborn's name is Shauna. So I would always remember when you came into my room. I was like, Shauna.
Yeah.
And I spelt it that way. me and my friend were both pregnant at the same time, and we both wanted that name. And she had a boy and I had a girl, and I'm like, nah, 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 nah. But she named her boy Sean, spelled like without the A, and I named mine Shauna. So, yeah. So I just doxed my daughter.
Yeah,
So,
Rumi. So that's exactly. She's talking about Jazz from that TLC show. They
mhm.
said she said that her parents knew when she was 2
Oh,
that she
Sonny and Cher's daughter. Is that Sonny and
no
Cher's daughter?
that's no Sonny and Cher's son is Chaz Bono. I was
Oh,
saying
Sean.
Jazz.
Oh, that's right. I think of, you know why I call her, it's a he now, but
Yeah,
I remember watching the Sonny and Cher show when they used
yeah,
to bring the baby up on stage. So I always think of that when I think of him. And I should,
yeah.
correct myself because he is. And he's actually, when he lost all that weight, was pretty damn good looking.
He's a very good-looking guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Listen,
Uh-huh.
there are some trans men. I would just I'm single. I'm just putting it out there. If you are a man, trans, or I don't care what it is, let's just I'll give you my number.
Get it
Some trans
on.
are
See,
just beautiful.
I have a hard time believing or understanding, I guess, how a 2-year-old. I mean, I don't, because I had my daughter first and then I had a son.
Hmm.
And of course, they were 5 years apart. And my son always wanted, to wear her a nightgown. Or when he was, say 1, 2, he wanted to be a sister. You know what I'm saying? And,
Hmm.
if I was painting her nails, of course he would want me to paint his nails. But I wouldn't think a 2-year-old can. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, he would play with her toys. He would play with boy toys. I don't see how people can say, "Well, I've known since I was 2." I mean,
Well, I don't know how about other people, but I think it's very normal for children to explore the idea of gender, um, male or I just think it's normal. But
right.
my phone
Well,
just forgot to
and
plug it.
guys, I have to answer my phone. I'll be right back.
Hi,
Sure.
Bailey.
Um, but
And I know
for
it's
me,
different.
it was
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
for me. I always knew that I wanted to be a girl. I didn't know it was possible. I didn't know what that meant, but I can only explain it as when I was taught by my parents to do boy things, it felt foreign to me, and that's everything from putting on pants to playing with certain toys to hanging out with certain children. It felt like it was wrong. So, and even being called he or son or, that sort of masculine, what's up, man, or hey, bro, all of that stuff did not sit right with me. It made my skin crawl. It made me feel like I was in the, like, it was, no, it was foreign to me. So, as a kid, all I knew was when someone would make me do a boy thing because that's what they saw me as a boy.
Mhm.
I didn't feel right. I didn't like to hang out with the other boys. I didn't like to play with boy toys. I didn't like wearing boy clothes. I didn't, it just was foreign to me. So I think that's what people mean. Like I've always known. Now, does that mean that like I'm certainly glad that my parents didn't see that in me and say, "Oh, well, we're going to start you transitioning," because I don't think that children should start transitioning. But I think it's normal. And when I say I've always known, I've known since I was a baby. That's what I mean by that. Is I just knew that being a boy was wrong. We put um, we put these categories on children, the the
But-
boy and the girl, and some people are very regimented. It's not okay for boys to cry,
And
and boys have to do this, and boys have to do that, and that
parents shouldn't
all.
panic if their kid is a tomboy, because I knew
Yeah,
a lot of girls
absolutely.
that were tomboys when I was growing up. I was kind of a tomboy too, and I mean, heterosexual. I, never thought I was a boy, but, I like
And if
boys.
you see a boy playing with dolls, it doesn't mean anything other than your boy thinks that the doll is a cool toy. Please do not read into these things with your children, because it can really it can fuck with your mind, and it can mess with your mind, and it can mess with the child's mind. And that's not cool. Just let kids be kids, in my opinion.
Well, I think the new trend now is to raise your kids. I don't know the correct term for it, but non-binary, or is that the term? Like that they're not female or male. You know what I mean? They just from the start. But
Yeah.
I feel in my own mind, you should let your child, be what they are, who they are.
Now see, I have an issue with all this. I'm not all this, but look, just like they're saying, well, we're not going to put a sex on a birth certificate when a baby's born. That, to me, why would you not? I mean, why?
That's what I meant.
If you're born with, if you're born with a certain sex, that should be on your birth certificate. And yes, later, if you decide that you don't feel right in that body, by all means, make yourself feel comfortable.
I think the only problem with that is that you're associating gender with sexual organs, and it's a little bit more complex than that. So just because someone has a penis doesn't necessarily mean that they are male. And I'm talking.
But scientifically, that is the case, though.
Well,
I mean,
no, ma'am. I have different chromosomes. So I can't tell you exactly what it was, but I had a chromosomal test done, and my chromosome wasn't what a normal male chromosome has. So it's not like that for everybody, but that's my story. And it's a lot of stories. And then you have people with intersex. I'm talking about people who have both a penis and a vagina. Something can happen in the development in the womb when the ovaries are turning into testicles, or vice versa. When that is happening, something can happen in that development that can change the mind, and not match the mind cannot match the outside. I hope I'm explaining myself right. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't identify your baby at birth as male or female. I'm not saying any of that. But it's wrong to assume that because a baby has a penis, that baby is going to always be a boy or identify as a boy, or vice versa. That just might not be the case. It's just a possibility.
Sure. Can I just interrupt for a second? Evelyn said something said Dory, because we're understanding more and more the harm of defining and categorizing gender, but I didn't say anything, so I don't know what she was responding to.
She was probably responding to me. She was probably. I don't know. I guess I don't want to say old fashioned. I don't want to say old fashioned. I don't want to say, and this is no offense to anybody. And I mean, I go back to the Bible. I mean, I guess in my head as a Christian, it's just hard for me to grasp. And I think that's a way for a lot of people. And it's not that
the Bible doesn't say specifically about gender.
God made man and woman. I mean, that's man and a woman. And I mean, if I saw you,
have you heard me say something different?
No, I'm not saying that. If I saw you on the street, I would treat you no different than I treat anybody. You know what I'm saying? I don't, what you do with your body and how you identify is your business. And I don't have any prejudices or anything against anybody that decides. My daughter's a lesbian. Okay. Was I thrilled about it? No, but she came to me, she told me, and I love her. She lives here. She has her whatever, her partners come over.
Sexual orientation isn't gender. We're talking about two different things. Just for
I know. I'm just saying, I don't have prejudice against different people. Okay. But when my mind hears stuff like this, it's like, I like not putting sexes on birth certificates and stuff like that. It just, it's mind boggling to me, because I feel like the amount of the population who does not fit with their gender that they're born with is minute compared to the big picture.
Yes.
Do you see what I'm saying?
That's why I did not
Absolutely.
say that you shouldn't put a gender marker on the birth certificate. I didn't say that at all. What I said is that
Shauna,
it's possible
I just,
that,
I
hold on,
just wanted to
Hang
speak.
on, Remy.
Oh,
please.
sorry, I can't hear her. I'll be right back.
Okay.
What I said is that it's possible that a child or a human being born with a penis might not identify as male, and a human being born with a vagina might not be female. That's what I
Oh,
said. So
and you
I
had
don't,
Absolutely. And
I don't
absolutely, I agree with you.
disagree with gender markers. I don't disagree with any of that stuff. I just think it's important to allow children to explore different um, different toys and clothes and things like that without putting a damn label on them. They're just being kids, and kids are supposed to explore and figure it out. And it's
Right.
not wrong for a kid. It doesn't mean that a kid is anything if they want to play with a toy that's not assigned to their gender. It's just so silly to want to automatically slap a label on them because they happen to be one way as a child. They might grow up as something completely different, and that's what I was trying to say.
I was saying, just because a boy is playing with girls doesn't mean they're, homosexual or they're
Right. And I agree with
transgender.
that. And I agree with
just
that.
because a girl plays, because I played with a lot of boys. I mean, a lot of boys. Not that I was a slut or anything, but when I was a kid, I played with a lot of boys because
Mhm.
they played cooler games. They played, they were more physical. They played, tag and stuff like that. So I played more with the boys. The girls wanted to play with dolls and blah, 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 blah. But I mean, I'm not homosexual or, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not lesbian or anything. It's just the way my parents
And
never
it would
thought
be
anything
so
of it.
silly to assume that you would be lesbian because you like to play baseball or whatever. That is such a silly notion in my mind. And that's sort of how I feel about if you spread that out deeper. A woman who or a girl who wants to be a tomboy or play with the boys or a boy who wants to play with the girls. It's so silly to slap a label on someone like that.
I go by whatever, I mean, I address someone by what they address themselves as. Um, you to me are a woman, so that's how I would always address you because that's how you, and I know you were talking a little bit about FOD the other day, and yeah, I did not know. To me, they were a man until I found out they were a woman. Not, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like I was so confused with all of that, what went on with him, her, him, I guess he wants to be called, but then I found out it was, you know what I mean? How confusing. Do you understand how confusing it was for us?
It is so confusing. And I think we should be allowed to ask questions without being vilified or told that you're wrong. And Leo, I don't want to ever tell you that your ideals are wrong or that your beliefs are wrong. That's not my job. It's not my business. But what I hoped to do is to make everybody understand that gender is a social construct. That's something that we have developed. That's not. It's not something as easy as saying you're a boy, you're a girl because you have a penis and you have a vagina. It's not that simple. And if you could just accept those terms and be open-minded to other things, then I think that we could sort of get around these labels of each other. Now, I have very traditional ideas about what it means to be male and what it means to be female. That's why I don't know much about the non-binary and gender fluidity. I believe that I was born a boy and I wanted to be a girl, and so I started that process. I'm very traditional when it comes to gender roles in a relationship and things like that. A lot of people don't believe that stuff. I mean, millennials would jump down my throat if I ever mention that I think it's noble and cool to be a housewife. That's what I want to do. That's my business. That doesn't discredit any other female or any, feminist movement or anything. That's just what I believe in my gender rules.
And you have a right to your beliefs. I'm Behaving says FOD drives me nuts and has done a great disservice with their antics. And I agree with that because I am so confused by them. And I'm not saying anything bad about them, but it's really hard for me to address. For the longest time, he
Just
was,
don't determine.
yeah. And then I found out he was, you know, her. And now I don't know what's the insult. And then someone said they're married. So I don't understand. Like, I really don't understand the whole thing. now.
Well, with them, and by the way, Shauna, thank you so much for educating us and answering any questions that we may have.
Yeah, no problem.
Now, one of my questions was already answered. You were speaking on the chromosome stuff. I didn't know that, but I do understand it. I forget which one is which, XX or XY. I think males are XY, correct?
Yeah, I don't know. I forget too.
I can totally understand that now, because if you're born with female chromosomes, but yet you have male genitalia, it's obviously you're going to feel like, hey, something's wrong here.
But how are you born with?
It happens it's in your genome code.
And sometimes people are born with XXY, which means they may not have both parts, but they have the chromosomes for both.
Then,
Right.
I mean, geez, you'd be stuck in limbo.
See,
without...
I just learned something totally new. I never knew that.
Now,
And
Shauna, do you find that society pushes back on you? If that makes any sense. Sorry if I'm wording that wrong.
Everybody's different, so not society as a whole. No, I feel most people embrace me, and at the very least, they say that's your business, and I don't understand it. I don't want anything to do with it, and that's cool with me too. You know, like I don't understand KKK members, but I'm not going to. I would fight for their right to have their beliefs. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
just don't hurt other people.
Well, I don't support the KKK.
Yeah. Well, I don't support them either, but I do believe they have a right to believe whatever they want. You know what I mean?
Of course. That's like, you know, for example, everybody has the right to believe in whatever religion or not a religion, or to believe the sky is green when it's blue. You know,
right. As long as you're not hurting people in the process, then you can believe anything you want to believe. Right.
But see, like my thing too is, again, going back, you know, when businesses were talking about having just one bathroom, you know, where both sexes could go into one bathroom.
Yeah, the unisex bathroom.
Right. Do I have a problem with that? Absolutely. I think no. Because I wouldn't want my little girl going into a bathroom with a man. I wouldn't want my son going into the bathroom with a woman. I just feel sometimes I feel like
I feel it can be abused almost.
Well, yeah, I feel like people that have, you know, that are transgendered or, you know, whatever. I feel like sometimes society is trying to make people accept it, but I don't know how to say this. Accept it as a norm, or accept it as, okay, so when a minority of the human race this happens to, we're all supposed to, you know, just
accept it, get over it, and move on.
And move on, and not question it. And it's odd for me. It's like now that people are more comfortable in their skin and they're coming out, where before, you know, even gay people, you know, couldn't come out because they were scared of being abused or killed or whatever. Now it's more accepting, which is great. But there are people in this world who have a hard time with it. And I don't feel like things should be changed because of that. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, I know it never went through or whatever, but I feel like.
Okay, I want to say something about the bathroom situation. I went to high school. I started high school in 1969,
I'm
And
sorry. Who's talking right
yeah, I
now?
know, right? This was a long time ago.
Can
And
you just hold on a second though, because she was making a very important point, and I just wanna
oh,
finish this conversation because I
okay,
think it's
okay.
very important. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. I
I
just want
thought
to
she
finish
was done.
what
No, she
Leo was saying.
understands.
Okay. Go ahead, Leo.
Oh, I was done. I was done.
Yeah, I
I
thought
just
she was
no,
done.
I
Because
just
I
don't
asked you a
understand.
question about what specifically do you feel
Oh,
like
you had the
you're
question.
being
Okay.
forced to change?
Like the gender neutral bathroom,
And
or
I was gonna say something about
But
gender
if that
neutral
has to,
bathrooms.
let's just assume for a second that there was a gender neutral bathroom.
Mhm.
No one would
which
ever
there
force
are
you.
pretty much
Okay,
everywhere. You know,
so
like a family bathroom.
no one forces you to use that bathroom. Am I correct?
But if I
In
go
some
to
states they
Target
do.
and I have to pee,
Right.
and
So every place I've been, they have one family bathroom that's specifically for one person. There's one toilet in there,
right,
And then the male section and the female section.
right,
So no one makes you go into. No one tells you you can't go into these
Right.
bathrooms. You choose what bathroom you go into.
That's what I
So
was gonna say. When I was in high school,
specifically, what is your issue about having a bathroom that
I
would be
think
just
it's also because, and I'm not, this is not meant to be a negative statement or that, but I feel that, and this is not, reflective of the trans community, the gay community, none of that. It's heterosexual, homosexual, trans, whatever. I feel that, and I think I might be on the right track here, that predators can almost say, oh, well, something, I want to go grab a little boy, so I'm going to pretend I'm a woman and go to this, you know what I'm saying? And
well, and I
they're
agree
going
with
to
you. That's a
abuse
horrible
that.
thing, but I think that predators have been around a lot longer
Oh,
than
of
any
course.
trans person has, and I
Of
don't
course.
think that any parent should ever let their child go to any bathroom. I don't care who's in it, women or men. I don't care. Alone. That's
You're
just a
right.
personal thing. So if I had a child, I wouldn't let them go to the bathroom. I don't care if God Himself was in there. Nope, we're going together. That's just
Yep.
how
right,
I
but
feel about it.
Okay.
right. But
But
I'm talking about if a store only has, say, Target or Walmart. Okay, they have gender neutral bathrooms. No women, no men, just
yeah,
like
just one.
a huge family bathroom, but with stalls like the men and women's bathrooms. That's what they were talking about doing, not having, separate in a family bathroom. They were talking about having bathrooms with no label with stalls, and everybody just goes into that bathroom.
Oh, I
That's,
didn't hear about that. I don't like
Yeah,
that at
yeah,
that
oh
all.
yeah, there was a
happened.
big thing about it. Yeah, there was a
That
big thing
happened
about
here.
it. And I just don't agree with
Oh,
that.
so
I don't.
where you're at, they have gender neutral bathrooms like that?
Yep. In my state, some stores do it. Not every store. It's optional. It's just
Which
kind
stores?
of one Walmart here has it. The Toys R Us before it closed had it. It was just like a family
Wow.
bathroom. There was no female, no male, no,
With
there weren't
multiple
3
stalls
bathrooms.
and everything?
Yep. There were
Oh my God.
urinals. There were potties. Sorry, I'm potty training, so I say potty. There was just one big bathroom with stalls. Think of like a high school bathroom, in whichever bathroom, I don't know, they have the stalls, and that's what it would be. And it was just
Like
kind of like, well, they weren't differentiating between, like, they weren't giving people the choice.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that made a lot of people like, wait a second here, like, nope, not gonna happen.
Okay, someone also asked the question about, Jason, I think it was, asked the question about how much did it cost?
My surgery?
I guess, I don't know, he just said, how much did it cost?
Yeah, he asked about the surgery.
Was it the surgery?
It was a few $1,000s.
Okay, and I heard you say that you did like not the traditional way. Is that because it was too expensive, or, and you don't have to answer that if you don't want to, but
At
I
the
know
time,
that,
I didn't believe that there were doctors in the States that would do it. And also, it's very it's hard to answer because we have to get graphic in order to understand why some people choose to have sexual reassignment surgery and some people don't. But to be as general as I can, it can affect the way that you function. It affects sensitivity. It can affect all of that. And so you really have to, especially when you're younger or earlier in years, I mean, before the technology and stuff that they have now, you really had to make a choice. Do you want to have dysphoria with your penis, or do you want to have function? And
Mhm.
sometimes it's different for everybody. Everybody has to make that choice for themselves. So it doesn't make. It's important to also know that whoever makes that decision, whatever decision it is, or if they choose not to make that decision, doesn't make them any less trans than me or anybody else. And that's sort of where I come back around to the idea that some women have penises and some men have vaginas, and that's just what I believe.
There was another really good question. I think the username was empath something, and they said, "Do you feel?" And I hate to, I don't want to like question you, but they said, "Do you feel that maybe the desire, or not the desire, but after puberty, that it became apparent more so than before?" Sorry if I worded that wrong.
For me, it's always been a constant thought. But again, when I was young, I didn't believe that it was possible for me, so I sort of had to
Mm-hmm.
learn how to put it out of my head. Um, so at that time, I knew that I wanted to be female. I knew that I wanted to be a girl, but I never thought it was possible. So I had to learn how to survive and just live with what I had, and
Okay.
that's what I did.
Well, Shauna, thank you for answering my questions, and I really appreciate you talking to us about this. But I'm going to hop down, and I'll see you guys in chat. Again, thank you so very much, Shauna, and I'm sure we all really appreciate this. Have a great day.
Another person said, I'm behaving said on here. Oh, that's better. I'm behaving said on here. I don't care what's between your legs. It's what's in your heart.
Yeah.
I guess, that says it for me. But is there any more questions? Does anybody else have any questions in here? Or can we
I
just
was going to answer the bathroom question, and I see someone else asked about it. It was Jason who said, do we need 3 bathrooms? Well, what happened in school when I was in high school, the question came up. I went to a really small private school, and we didn't actually have any transgender kids at our school, but we still talked about the possibility, and our administration just took it upon themselves to make a 3rd bathroom for either. So we had 3 bathrooms, the boys, the girls, and whoever wanted to go in the other one. And there was just we just didn't really talk about it much. It was just something that was put in place in case something happened or someone came to the school and we didn't want them to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I remember in high school we had something similar. There was a 3rd bathroom, and that was just because some people didn't feel comfortable, using the bathroom in
Or
front of a bunch
sharing
of
the
people.
bathroom.
Yeah, yeah,
Like the 3rd bathroom was 1 toilet, 1 sink.
right.
And it used to be a teacher's bathroom, but they just changed it to whoever wanted to use that bathroom could use it, so they didn't have to feel uncomfortable in any situation.
Well, and I think it's important that everybody feels comfortable. I don't think anybody should be forced to use a bathroom where they don't want to. I certainly, buying power is very important. So if the store that I was supporting or shopping at made me go to a bathroom that I didn't want to go to, I don't care about transgender political correctness or not. I would not support that store. That's just not okay. You should be. Everybody has the right to feel safe. I've yet to hear of a situation where there's been someone who's dressed up a man who's dressed up like a girl and gone to try to hurt a kid or to steal a child. But if that did happen, um, that's not okay. Everybody has the right to use the bathroom and feel safe. We should all have the right to feel safe. So every time that situation is been thrown in my direction about trans people wanting special rights. I've never asked for special anything. I just want the same rights that everybody else has, equality. And that sort of goes back to what I was saying about I don't know much about the transgenders and the non-binary and gender fluidity. I feel like some of those things sort of do our LGBTQ, specifically the T community, a lot of injustice because it blurs the line and it confuses people. And for someone like me, I just want to live my life. I just want to live my life. I want it to be easier for me to get a job. I want it to be easier for me to be able to change my gender marker if I can, or my name if I want to, or to get married, just like everybody else. I shouldn't have to jump through hoops just because I want to get an apartment. And these are the things that I deal with every day as a trans person. And if you consider that, if anybody considers that special circumstances or asking for special privileges, then you have the right to that. But for me, it's just wanting the same thing that everybody else does. It's a chance to live my life as as privately as I can without hurting anybody and just being myself.
Amen.
Very
Yep.
rarely, that's all I can say.
Morning, Robbie.
Morning.
Hi, Robbie.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm tired. How are you? But I love this
Aw.
conversation. So
Isn't it
how are you?
great? I'm
Yes.
good. Thank you.
Yeah, it's so informative.
Mhm.
I was going to say something and I forgot what I was going to say. Good morning, Ben. What was I going to say? You just
Hi,
want
Ben.
basic human rights is what you want. It's not about the gender. You just
Mhm.
want the basic human rights. And I think we've come a long way as far as, homosexuality and lesbians and that but I think we still have ways to go with, what you're dealing with. And I don't even know what to call it. See, that's how uninformed I am. And I don't want to offend you by what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is I don't think we've come as far as the homosexual and lesbian community has come.
No, we haven't. I
Yeah.
agree.
community.
Totally agree.
Do you understand what I mean? Like,
Can I
you,
just make a clarification too, because you mentioned this earlier about the difference between a transsexual and a cross-dresser.
Mhm.
Can I just clarify that a little bit for you guys?
Sure.
So for me, transgendered and transsexual, for me, are pretty much the same thing. However, a transvestite would be someone who likes to wear women's clothing, specifically women's lingerie and women's underwear, and sort of has a sexual gratification from it or has a sexual thrill from it.
Mhm.
A cross-dresser would be someone who likes to dress in the opposite gender's assigned clothing, so a male who likes to dress up like a female, mostly in private, but sometimes in a social setting, no sexual kick, doesn't want to live their life as a female, just someone who likes to cross-dress.
Okay.
And then a transgender and a transsexual would be someone who wants to change their gender from the opposite. And I know that those all can be confusing, but the best thing to do if you're ever confused is just simply
Just
ask the
ask.
person.
Yep.
Yeah. And most people will be so glad that you asked and feel like, oh, this is someone who really wants to learn as long as you're not being offensive. And
Mhm.
you probably have a new friend, That's always been my experience. It's different for everybody, but
have you come across a lot of prejudice or any like hate? You know what I mean? Like, have you come across hatefulness? I
only
don't
on
know.
YouTube. Only on YouTube.
Yeah,
Can,
well, welcome to the club.
can I ask a question? I just got here. I'm sorry. I was
Hey.
late. Good morning.
Hey,
Misty.
misdemeanor.
Misdemeanor.
My question is, I come from a place where if you come to me and you say, "Hey, here's my situation," I know it's different. I know it may seem bizarre to you. I'll listen.
Mhm.
I'll probably try to accommodate you as best as possible. But the minute that I say I don't agree, it seems like it's forced down my throat. And if I don't agree, then I'm the most evil person on the planet. Listen, I can like you all day long and not agree with you,
Sure.
you know, and I think that should be okay. But I think from coming from this side over here, if there's a side, I really feel like the minute that you say that that's not the way you see things, then you're evil and you're shunned and you're made fun of and called names just as horribly as those people do not want to be treated. And I hate to say those people, but I'm trying to say what I'm trying to say with a headache and half asleep. So there's that. But I
For me,
really
I
do
find
feel
it
like,
really interesting because I hear a lot of praise. I get a lot of praise. Oh, you're great. Thank you so much. I don't ever get a chance to talk to someone who says I don't agree. So for
right,
me, very interesting. Well, what don't you agree with? What is it that you have a problem with? What are your fears? And if I can
coming,
understand that, then maybe I can sort of at least talk about it, and at the very case, get it. Well, okay, that's someone who doesn't agree, and this is why.
coming from a science mind, okay, there are chromosomes.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so when you're born, let's just pull hermaphrodite from this conversation completely because that is a misfire of those chromosomes. If we can all agree with that, that you're born with both sexual components. I even look at the fact that you're born from the beginning with one specific set, and then as you develop in utero, you become male or female physiologically. Okay. So, given that when you're born either male or female chromosomally, okay, I think from that point, then it's psychological, correct?
I would
Yes,
think so. Yeah.
I agree.
So, in that respect, I don't, when I hear some people tell me I'm misgendered, no, actually, you're not. You have the appropriate gender. But in my head, psychologically, you don't believe you do.
Can I
Does that
add to
make
that?
sense? Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Well, because somebody was asking, about what if people are uncomfortable going in, because we should be comfortable going to the bathroom. And I have never really experienced being bullied in a bathroom ever as a guy, except when I was in school, because, I hung out with only girls. So then
Right.
when I went to the boys' bathroom, I was surrounded by the boys who would pick on me, and they would be able to pick on me without my friends being there who were girls. So, I mean, just because I was uncomfortable going to, and I understand like this isn't like a gender thing. I didn't feel like I wanted to be a girl, but I probably would have felt more comfortable going to the girls because that's
Sure.
who
That's where
had
your
my
buddies were.
back.
Right.
However, I am a boy, and the purpose of having gender bathrooms here in the United States and in Europe, the historical purposes, if you Google it on Wikipedia, is for the intention as well as the timing of their appearance as disputed amongst scholars, safety from sexual harassment and privacy were likely the two main goals. Now, there's not really a lot of sexual harassment that goes on in bathrooms or abuse, like beatings of people. So I understand that discomfort because I've had that myself. However, if I went into the women's, it would be a problem, because the gender assignments. So
Right. Exactly.
So, I mean, I think it's real simple. For me, in my personal opinion, I'm very traditional when it comes to bathrooms and locker rooms, specifically locker rooms, more than bathrooms. But I think that the simple answer is there needs to be family bathrooms everywhere. Because here's the thing, if transgenders or whoever is uncomfortable going into a bathroom, we need to offer an option for them. But we also need to not offer an option for the people that are uncomfortable going against kind of what they've always been comfortable with their entire lives, because that's kind of changing their comfort zone.
So Jason had a good question. So there should be 3 bathrooms now?
Unfortunately, I think that's the only thing that's going to solve everyone's issue, because I can see it from both sides. But I mean, with me, I'm just very traditional. I'm like, there's men's room and the girls' room, but
You know,
it gets
honestly,
deeper than that.
why
Right.
not? If you're going to take up that whole space to make all that, you know, sinks and stalls and whatever, why not just make a bunch of separate bathrooms? There's a lot of people that just are uncomfortable going to a public bathroom because there's so many people in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
well, yeah. And I mean, I don't know if you've seen stalls lately, but there might as well not even be a door because the
Exactly.
crowd
Yeah.
is so big that people can look in anyways.
Right.
and you poor guys. I mean, you've got urinals. You all got to line up and compare
I
stuff.
know. That to me is
I
like
don't know.
Yeah.
I would hate that.
I would too.
Yeah.
I
I
would
don't want to
too.
drop my drawers in
So
front of
where,
everybody I don't know.
what would be the solution to all that? Like, I don't know what the solution would be because, you know, we're all uncomfortable with different, you know, and Robbie's right. The stalls that I've gone into, you can see right through, especially when you
Yeah.
go to a place where you're swimming and stuff. And they put this little tiny curtain up there.
I
It
know.
doesn't even close. You know, we went to a water park one time and I had to change in one of these little stalls with this little tiny curtain. I mean, I might as well have had nothing. I might as well have stripped off in front of everybody. And it was a woman's, you know, bathroom or whatever, change room, but they could still see, you know, everything. And I actually, you know, was really shy about changing there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Well, with me, I mean, it's so complicated as well because there's actually people that are uncomfortable and want and feel like a female, you know, or feel like a man, vice versa. And then there's also people that can also throw on costumes and go. But here's the
Yeah.
thing. If there's a male pedo or whatever, they can also be a pedo to little boys. So that's not going to change
Right.
anything. But,
Right.
you know, it literally
Right.
opens a door for people to put on a costume and walk into the little girl's locker room or the
Mhm.
women's locker room with the camera. Now, not a lot of sexual assaults happen in these places statistically. However, there still are video cameras on our phones. So, I mean, a lot of people are uncomfortable with the idea of their child or, you know, their wife or their self being in someone's cell phone while they're naked in the locker room and stuff. It's just, it goes, there's so many levels
That's
to
a really
it.
good point, Robbie.
Mhm. Mhm.
Do you mind if I just sort of swing back to misdemeanor for a second? Because I wanted to finish that
Yeah.
discussion of gender. So for me, gender is a social construct. It means it's something that we develop. I sort of mentioned that earlier. So when you're talking scientifically about chromosomes, not everybody has a different chromosome, and you said that let's take hermaphrodites out of the equation. It's hard to do that because they exist and they are part of the transgender community, and that situation can happen. But also XY and XX and all of that stuff, that's just a chromosomal marker. That doesn't determine gender as far as what we call a boy and what we call a girl. We do that as a society. We make those rules. We make the rules about what boys can wear and what girls can wear. And so it's hard for me to understand a scientific point when you say, well, because you have these chromosomes, you have to act this way. It's hard for me to understand that because my mind didn't wrap around that. Does that
Well, I
make
think
sense?
also, you know, with like freedom of religion and stuff, because there's so many things that can go against each other that we can't please everybody. But, you know, there are people like myself who, like, I am a Christ follower and stuff, and I believe God made man and women
Mhm.
also. So that's how I know that there's genders, is because God said that. And that's how I look at it. So then, you know, it goes deeper. It goes into religion as well.
Mhm.
no, misdemeanor, hop down for a minute. Her mom probably called. I don't know if she heard what you said. I'm going to ask her.
Yeah, that's
But yeah,
But to get to Robbie's point, yeah, and I agree. I do have traditional senses with the regard to gender and gender roles. And like I said before, I can only speak from a transgendered point of view and my transgendered point of view. I
Yeah.
don't know non-binary and gender fluidity. I don't know about that stuff. But with regards to God making men and women, okay, I can understand that. But how does a man act and how does a woman act? We decide that. And that's where I come from. I'm someone who acts female, and I've done things to make my body look female, but I don't identify as female. I've always said I'm transgendered woman. So I don't call myself a woman, and why I don't is because I'm different. I like to be different. I like that about myself. It's not possible for me to ever be a woman, and so that's why I identify as such. But we
But
decide.
you're not offended when we call you female, do we? Are you? I
No,
mean,
no,
I'm
not
not
at
going to
all.
say I'm not going to say transgender, Shauna, every time I talk about you. To me,
Yeah, I don't walk
you're,
around saying I'm a
yeah,
transgender man,
because
not
that's
just
like,
man. No, I don't say that.
Mhm.
No,
it's like that's so hard to do.
yeah, no,
Because,
that
like
would
I
be.
said
But
earlier, like transgender, transsexual, transvestite, it was all the same to me. Like I didn't know what the difference was completely. You know what I mean? Like I'm glad you straightened me out because I really didn't. Well, I knew cross dressers and stuff was different because they
what an
could be like,
ironic term, straightened you out. That's pretty funny.
yeah. Oh my God, I didn't think of that. That was a good joke. I made it funny.
Play on words.
But it's good that we're being educated, don't you agree, Robbie?
Mhm.
Because a lot of us are not
Absolutely.
going to agree, or we're going to agree to disagree, and we don't have to be hateful about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
mean, like
sure.
Misdemeanor was saying,
Right.
it's important. That's the only way you get somewhere in a conversation is to disagree, but then move beyond that mark of disagreeing and actually still have a conversation and not shut each other out.
Yeah, we don't
Exactly.
have to agree. The truth is that you can live your life, I can live my life. We can still be respectful and even have love for each other.
Yeah.
On a human level, you know, because I do believe that when I'm done with this world, I'm going to go to something greater, and how I act and how I treat other human beings is what I'll be judged upon. It has nothing
Bingo.
to do with how I identified or the clothes that I wore or anything
Right.
like that, you know. So really, at the end of the day, it's a little silly. You know what I mean? Like, as long as I'm a
Right.
good person, I'm being a good person, I'm not hurting anybody.
Right.
And
Yep.
Amen, sister.
Yeah, and I'm behaving said that earlier. She said, "I don't care what's between your legs, it's what's in your heart."
Right.
You know, and that is so true. Like you have to be good, and if you're happy within yourself, I'm happy for you. I don't understand it completely. I'll admit that I really don't. Like I said, FOD really confused me a lot with the whole like I don't even know how to explain it, but I'm very confused by that. And that was, I think he did you all a disservice.
it feels
I'm saying
it,
he.
yeah. Because I don't know. Um, Hold on 1 second, please.
And that's not against him. I'm not saying anything against him. I'm just saying I don't understand it. I don't understand how it feels to be born in a gender that you don't feel comfortable in either. So I'm sure a lot of people in my chat don't understand it either.
You know, when I was younger, I remember always having a crush on guys, especially growing up in the 80s, men with short shorts. And I also remember watching Kathleen Turner movies, which I love Kathleen Turner and Judy Garland. And I would pretend like I was them, but I don't think I ever fully wanted to be a woman. It just, I don't know what it was. Lots of gay men love Judy Garland anyways, but I was more feminine as a child, but I think I always knew, I think we know what we're comfortable with. I just loved getting along with girls. Like even now, most of my friends are females. That's just what I get along with more mentally. So like what Sean is saying, it kind of goes beyond what I look like or that I have a penis, is that I get along with women more. So I guess maybe inside as far as friendship and stuff, I identify as, I don't know, a woman,
well,
I guess. I don't know.
The difference for me would be the dysphoria part, because I could just, I could have just been a gay male and have been happy had I not had the dysphoria, and that was sort of part of the transition for me. But I've heard other trans people say that the dysphoria wasn't big for them. That's just how they felt. So that's why I keep reiterating for me, because my story might be very different. You could get another trans girl up here tomorrow and have a completely different story, and you guys would be so fucked. You wouldn't know what to think. That's why I keep reiterating for myself and my story, because I just know about the dysphoria and what I needed to correct to make that go away.
Oh, Evelyn Shelton said, I am not even the least bit bisexual, but Angelina Jolie is so intriguing to me. I don't know, is she bisexual? I don't understand the bisexual part either.
I would probably marry Kayleigh McEnany, our press secretary.
There are some women I find extremely attractive. I don't know if I would marry them, but
yeah, there's some that I'm like, oh yeah, I would.
Yeah, why not?
But
Carla's
if you got married, Shauna,
oh, that was sweet. You miss. I heard that. That was so.
I'm so used to getting insults.
I'm just
I
kissing
love
her
him
tush.
so much because you're just such a nice person all the way around. I love you.
Sometimes.
Well, hey, stop. Because since I've known you, you have been a genuinely and very down to earth person, and I respect you for that.
That's sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's true though.
But
so there.
Sorry, Carla. I think I interrupted you by saying I'm attracted to
no,
you.
no. You didn't interrupt me.
She was flattered.
Misdemeanor wants me to tell Shauna that she didn't jump down because of anything that your conversation. She had a call, so she's going to come back up.
I didn't think so. I know, as far as I'm concerned,
she just wanted you to know that
we're still best friends. So I wasn't offended. No.
Oh, okay. And I don't want to offend you either, because I thought what you did, and I think it's brave.
I do too.
For someone to go up and
tell their story.
And you were so gracious. I know you got some pretty funny questions, and different questions, and sometimes not here necessarily, but on that panel, what do you do?
Well, and I have a long history, so we banter back and forth, and we just get each other. He tries to shock me with his inappropriateness, and I'm like, dude, you can't shock me.
I think he does that with everybody, though. Whatever. Because I've not been in the Voight long, but oddly enough, the first person that I ever started to get to know in the Voight, when I came onto YouTube and found out there were live chats, was Rosie O'Kelly, and I love her.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's a prime example of what you were talking about, but I just like her personality.
She's a good example of someone who has a different story. She identifies as third gender, and I don't know what that means for her, but that's something completely different from what I identify as.
Oh, okay. So, and I don't even know what that is.
Example of someone who falls under the trans umbrella, for all intents and purposes, would be considered transgender, but just has a different story and considers themselves to be a different person. And so that's a great example. Rosie's a great person, and she has a different story and got to the place that she's at in a different way than I did.
Okay. And I don't know her story.
I have to step down in a minute. Could I ask Sean something really fast? Just because it's something that I could probably kind of relate to. Because I don't go to gay pride just for my own personal reasons. Especially Family Day anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore, just because I feel like they kind of, depending on the, what's going on, because every pride parade is different, but it's very and I understand we're sexual beings and stuff, but in front of children at Family Day, it upsets me, because a lot of these people aren't even walking around half naked. They're literally naked in downtown Denver, and their bodies are painted. So I feel like they're misrepresenting the part, because only a part of me, it's it's just who I sleep with and stuff, is gay. So I don't consider it like my whole being, but I feel like that part of me is misrepresented. Do you ever feel like as a transgender that it's misrepresented to you by any person, like drag queens or anything like that, like can misrepresent it to people look to where they look at you a different way?
That's a good question.
Yeah, even other trans people can misrepresent or sort of get the wrong idea about me by the way that they represent themselves. And absolutely, I feel that very strongly. But it's hard for me to differentiate the message. So I would be hesitant to be critical about someone else who is transgendered in fear that people who are on the outside might misinterpret what I'm saying. So I try to keep that very low. For example, I brought up Rosie. Rosie does things that I don't necessarily agree with, and that's okay. It doesn't make her any less transgender than I am. And I would be hesitant to publicly say those things for fear of people getting the wrong idea or the wrong message.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
you mean on YouTube? You mean,
Right.
Well, like
Right.
what
And I
Remy said.
interpret what you're saying? What?
Exactly. It's no different for us than it is for everybody else. Exactly.
Well, Remy said a good point too about nightclubs, and that's how I feel about gay pride. Look, I even on my social media will post pictures of my workout progress or whatever in underwear and stuff, but I think there's a difference. My like my Facebook, I know who's on there. There's not children. In nightclubs, we know there's not children, so we're more open to be like that. But like they specifically at Gay Pride have Family Day where it's all ages, and I'm like, I don't think that we need to be doing that, But
I don't mind that if they're going to not sexualize it as much.
Exactly.
If on Family Day they're not going to have the guys in the Speedos, I'm cool with that. I sort of feel the same way about kids in drag. Okay, that's fine, but kids in drag should not be at bars. Kids in drag should not be talking about drugs. Kids in drag should be talking about kids things.
Right.
And so if you can change the formula so that it's specifically appropriate for a child, then I'm all for it. But until that happens, I'm never going to support a child being put in an adult situation. I'm never going to be okay with that.
Right.
And
I think that's what he was saying.
If that makes me not have a card in the LGBTQ plus community, well, that's fine. But I just don't agree with that.
Amen.
Yep. And they can't get away because I've been to a couple of them because my close friends are gay and they would do dykes on bikes. And some of them, would ride the bike with no top on. And I'm like, okay, and you look around and it's family and there's kids around there. And I go, what are they doing? And why? I want to know why.
I wouldn't question the dyke on the bike. I would question the parent. Why are you bringing your child?
Why are you bringing your child? Yeah. That's what, you know what? And at the time when I was married, that's what my ex-husband said too. He goes, what's wrong with the parents bringing their kids here? I mean, what this is going to be. And I go, I know, I guess some parents probably just, I don't know, they're open to that with their children. I'm talking toddlers. These are not like, these were toddlers.
Well, my daughter has a friend that took care of her child in daycare, and her daughter is 18 or 19 years old, and she's gay. And so my daughter's as straight as I don't know, but she walks in the parade every year. She walks in the parade to support.
Well, that's what we
friend.
did. We supported my friend.
But she doesn't bring her kids. She does not bring her kids because of that very reason. Because she's got young children.
And there was an ongoing.
She walks in it just to support her friend's daughter.
Well, they had an ongoing joke with my ex-husband. All the dykes, they would be like, come on, I dare you to bring your bike. Come on, why don't you ride your bike? Put your wife on the back. And he's like, no. He would get so embarrassed. And I'm like, come on, honey, let's do it. He goes, what's wrong with you? They're going to think I'm a dyke. And I said, it's just a joke. And she's like, come on. And they were all like in this group. And one of them was like big burly girl. And she's like, why, you got a problem with that? And she was just joking with them. And he goes, no, I just don't. He goes, okay, I'm going to go over there. We would just start laughing at him. But I had a friend, Shauna, that she was in the middle of going through her change. And she was taking the pills. She was going to see a doctor. I mean, her voice started changing, everything. She had to, for a while, so that you had to get used to becoming a boy. She had to wear, you know what I'm saying? And it changed her mind. It was like a couple months into it. She started crying. She's like, I can't do this. I'm just going to, continue doing what I used to do. I can't change myself this way.
Well, see, I'm very hairy. So, hey, Ems. Naturally, I just couldn't. I would have to shave all the time.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
Ems.
she was, and she was always, I mean, she grew up, I thought she was adorable. And she, did everything like a guy, everything. And you looked at her hair was short, and she to me looked just like a boy, exactly like a boy. And she was a teacher. And then I guess she started looking at that, and she said, what if my students, parents start saying something if I go the other way? So she ended up not doing it.
Okay,
That's gotta be
so
hard. You're in
Yeah,
teacher's position.
right. Because like you said too, Robbie, she said she would go into the men's bathroom and they gave her a hard time. They're like, what are you doing in here? And then she would go into the woman's bathroom and then they'd start screaming at her. What are
See,
you doing in
that's
here?
where we need a solution. Those
Right.
situations are the solution, the ones that I think need the bigger solutions,
so I'm
Well,
wondering
and
about
there's a
jobs
time-
and stuff,
Right.
like
There
sexual
is a time
harassment.
when you're mid transition where you don't. Some people, it's even after that, like after transition, I can't determine who's going to see me as what. Some people see female, and some people just see a big old dude, and I can't. I wish I could change that for everybody, but I can't. So,
Right.
like
A
there are
big
times.
old dude.
It's the truth, man. That's just the way it is. And like, especially when I started transitioning, I just, some people thought I was a lesbian. Some people thought I was a gay guy. Nobody knew what I was.
That's what, yeah.
So
and she was skinny.
it can
She was
be
real
very
petite.
uncomfortable. Yeah.
Right. Right. And she would cry. And one of her friends, we were at a bar and one of her friends said to her, well, what do you expect? They don't know you look like a boy and you dress like a boy, because she's wearing the vest like a guy and everything else. And she goes, but to a guy, you're not. They can tell that you're not. So that's why they're giving you a hard time. And I go, but what is she supposed to do? Hold it until she goes home? I mean,
exactly.
that's not right either.
Right.
And she's like, but this is how I've been looked at all my life.
I want to
Guys, I'm actually going to hop in the chat and I'll listen in bed because I'm going to go back to sleep eventually. But it's been great chatting with you guys.
You too, Robbie. Thank you for coming.
I want to know if anyone thinks I'm strange that my attitude towards whatever gender, sexual preference, any of those things, I've always felt like if I'm not dating you or married to you, why is it my business? I don't care.
Right.
I don't think someone else's identity
should define who they are.
Right. I'm like, unless I'm dating you, if I'm dating you or married to you, I want to know the details. Other than that, to me, it's up to that person and what makes them feel the most comfortable. And there's always somebody for everybody.
Right.
And that's how I normally operate my life. So, like in everyday life, I don't go to the grocery store and tell everybody that I'm transgender. And for the most part, people see me as female. And I never disclose unless I'm going to be dating someone, or if I'm getting to know someone very closely and I'm building a friendship and they automatically think that I'm female. I like to tell them because I don't want them to ever feel like I was duping them or tricking them or anything like that.
Hiding somehow or
So
whatever. Yeah.
as a personal rule, I always disclose. If we're dating, I always disclose right away. And then other than that, it's at my free will.
Just Shauna. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Shauna, Samira asked, please ask Shauna what words or terms are offensive to her or anyone who is transgender.
I know a lot of trans girls who don't like to be called a drag queen. It's very offensive to them. But,
Well, I considered
what-
drag queen as an entertainer.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
all
Yeah.
I considered.
But then there are some trans women who do drag, and that's I know it gets confusing, but it's just the way that it is. I'm
Well, the
sorry.
only
I wish
thing
that
that-
there was a
Yeah, the only thing that confused me was the transsexual, transgender, and transvestite. I didn't know what the difference.
Right.
I didn't know the difference. I think, is transvestite kind of like a drag queen, or no? Was I wrong?
transvestite is someone who. Oh God, let me get the right definition before I give you wrong information. I'm gonna just go to our good friend Google.
Oh my God, that's what I do every day. Morning, Ems.
Good
Google.
morning.
Hi,
Is our friend.
Ems. How are you,
morning.
sweetheart? How's your baby?
Eh.
Yeah, I'm sorry, baby.
It's been interesting. Tell you that much. It's been
I know.
interesting.
I hope everything works out for you guys. God
So a
bless you.
transvestite
Me
is someone who
too.
dresses in female clothing and gets a sexual gratification from it, basically.
That's a
And that's
trans.
different. That's a
Vesta?
transvestite. That's different from transsexual or transgendered who lives their life as a female or the opposite sex.
Okay.
Did that make sense, or did I confuse
Yeah,
you?
no, it does make sense to me.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, just just know that, if I ever offend you by anything that I've said, I'm an idiot. So sometimes I don't remember. So just correct me, because, I'm a big girl. I can take correction. I think
and
Well, and we're all learning. We are all
Mhm.
trying to figure out.
I'm trying to be respectful, and I'm
Right.
trying to learn is what I'm trying to do. So,
And as long as you're coming at me with a place of respect, we're cool.
Sure.
Samara asked what makes me feel offended. Nothing makes me feel offended, but it might be different for the
For
next
someone
trans
else.
person that you run into.
Right.
So it's hard to answer that question. I don't easily get offended. But the reason why I came out as trans on YouTube was because I was offended. So it was because people were getting misinformation about trans people, and I felt the need to speak up.
and there's a few trans on here that I've talked to and not made friends with, but followed. Mallory's one. Nick. Is that her name? Nicole something. Nicolette, Rosie, and I never even knew these ladies were, I never felt comfortable enough to ask any questions. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? I never ever, and you coming up on my panel and answering questions is so great, because I feel comfortable asking you questions. And especially after seeing you on the panel the other day, I understand that you want people to be educated. You want people to know, what, understand. I guess that's what I'm going at.
Or just to make it comfortable. I think that the more that we make it comfortable to have these conversations,
Right.
the more it sort of answers questions, but it opens up people's minds a little bit. So that maybe the next time you run into a trans person, maybe the next time, Carla, you and your husband run into that situation, you'll feel comfortable enough to laugh and make a friend.
Joke about it.
And they didn't take it. They weren't offended, because they laughed too. But, we were scared we'd stare. We were scared. We didn't want to make them feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Because it was just so. And I'm telling you, this was 17 years ago. So, at that time, I didn't have YouTube. I didn't have all this information I have now. So, and you didn't hear about it a lot 17 years ago. So it was kind of new. And the person was, I'm telling you, 6'4", they stood out.
Yeah.
But, she was a really good sport when that guy said what he said to her. It was funny. Boy, if I'm ever in jail, I
I'll tell
want
you
to
something
myself.
funny. The other day I was at the store and I have freckles and I'm very tall. I'm over 6 feet. So this guy comes up to me and he goes, "Oh my God, you remind me of my grandma. My grandma was," and my grandma was your height, and he goes, "I bet you're about 6'4", and I said, "Yeah, I'm around that," and he goes, "Oh, I just want to give you a big hug. You remind me of my grandma." He goes, "I'll restrain myself, but I just wanted to let you know that you're a very beautiful person." And I'm thinking to myself, "Bet your grandma didn't used to have a penis." That's what I was thinking to myself. But you never know what people see,
Right.
like.
Yeah.
Right.
But then, I mean, you had to be flattered because they saw you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that was, I think that would be, I would be flattered. And
Right.
Yeah, it was a great compliment. He totally came to me at a place of love.
Right.
And,
Right.
that was, how could I not be? I was totally flattered.
Hey, Carla, something's wonky with my headphones. I'm going to have to hop down, hon.
Are
I
you
don't know
coming
if you
back
guys
up?
can, if I can find other headphones that are charged up.
Okay.
Okay, honey.
We'll be
All
here.
right. Okay.
Love ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow.
But yeah, that's the thing is I don't want to offend anybody. Even if I don't particularly care for the person, here's how I feel. If I offend you or hurt your feelings, I will feel bad. I will.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter if I don't like you that much. If I hurt your feelings, I feel bad. So that's me. I'm a big old softie.
Yeah.
Oh, in the key word.
Yeah. A
Oh,
cutie.
yeah, you are. You're a cutie. Old nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. You have like old fashioned morals, and I like that about her. I do.
Who are you
And
talking about?
you. And you're also,
Oh my God. I've
but you're
swore
very
more on
but
I've said the F word more on YouTube than I say. And when
who
my
cares?
grandkids come here, I do not swear. I don't even say damn or any words. But I swear, if my husband saw some of my videos where I'm like going off on people, and that's not me. Like I always think now, I think to myself, don't do anything on YouTube that you wouldn't do in real
In
life.
person, right?
Because that's the way I'm thinking of it now. And I see people, so much hate on here and so much people say
Negativity.
things
It's
that just
horrible.
hurt
It
people.
is. It's horrible. I mean, my trolls are like, I got one that she calls me Donald, and I start laughing. And
That's not bad though.
no, and I mean, I had someone
Compared
say,
to Chucky.
"Still, she's transgender. She looks like a man," and I'm like, oh, "Really? Okay." But when you liked me, you told me the opposite. So it's all right. That's the way you want to put it. Whatever makes you feel better about yourself, go right ahead.
I
Because
get the same thing.
you know what I'm saying?
People say to me, "Oh, I could never tell that you were transgendered," and then as soon as I say something they don't like, "Oh, you big man, you look like a
Yeah,
Yeah.
man."
right. It's
Oh
like,
my
come on,
God.
stop with the labels.
Yeah.
That's what really upsets me is just knock it off with the labels. If you can't say something to your enemy or someone that, disappointed or whatever, if you can't have a conversation without calling them names to belittle them, that says a lot about you right there. And then that makes me say, then I'm glad I'm not your friend because I don't want to know a person like you. I don't want to be around a person like you.
Right.
I want to be around people who are themselves, but respect people and know boundaries and not be
Sure.
able to call you names and swear at you and try to belittle you because a person that does that in my eyes, and I know this is well to be true, is because they don't like themselves. They don't like the reflection that's staring back at them.
Exactly. Even when I'm mad at somebody, like someone that I care about, even when I'm very upset at them or we're having like a knockdown, drag out fight, there's just certain lines you don't cross,
Thank
like
you.
Mhm.
Right.
I would never tell secrets that they told me, or
No.
dog them, or just silly shit like that. Like, I just wouldn't do that. And I try very hard to make sure that I surround myself with people who have that mind, because
Mhm.
that stuff to me is just like, it's so silly. It's so, I see it a lot
It's
on
childish.
YouTube. Yeah.
Everything can be solved in private. I think
Thank
a lot of
you.
us that have a
Yes.
fight or
Yes.
okay, and I had the
Yes.
example with Nanya did something on my panel that I really was upset with her about. And instead of coming on my panel and having her come on my panel and berate her and humiliate her, I got to her in private. We talked it out. I told her how I felt, and we resolved it. Everything doesn't have to go on a panel and be made for the general amusement from everybody else. Would I ever? I would never post private messages. I would never, but I had
And I
What it
appreciate
is.
that. I appreciate that about her, because she came to me and talk to me instead of, like she said, going on a panel to have everybody's enjoying, because that to me is like, this is what you want attention. I did it when I was upset with someone and we would discuss it on the panel. I'm guilty of that. I am. But I
Yeah.
learned from my mistakes, and I learned my lesson, and I said, never again will I do that. It's not worth it. I can't talk to that person anymore, and I would never want to, especially in private. I just don't want to. To me, you're out of my life. There's no more talk. There's no reason to discuss, because all it's going to be is this back and forth. And ooh, now I have screenshots. I have them too. But what good is this? It doesn't solve anything. It's going to continue to be. Old feelings are going to come back up, and it's going to be a knockout, drag out. And I don't care. I'm too old for
well,
this crap.
people go low. You feel like you have to go lower, and
Lower.
it never ends.
Exactly.
Well,
It never
It
and
ends.
for the
doesn't.
audience, it is just entertainment. For the people in chat, for the most part, it's entertainment for them. So they don't care either way who gets
Right.
hurt, they don't care
Right.
about the outcome. They care that they have something to do while they're doing their housework, or they're eating bonbons or whatever it is they're doing. So it's hard for me, because you're a human being at the end of the day. And if we had a
Mhm.
friendship, how can I cross a line that I could never get back from? Like, let's say
Right.
Carla and I got
Exactly.
into a fight and I gave out all Carla's personal information. Well, how could we ever be friends again?
You can't.
Or how could we ever
You
come to
can't.
we couldn't come to a conclusion, because I've just crossed the line, and that's not cool.
And you know
A
what?
double-edged sword is
Mhm.
when that happens between creators. And I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about all across the board. You take one side, or they make you take one side or the other, and then they make up. And then
Oh, that happens a lot too. Right.
you're neither of them like you anymore because you took
Right.
side. I'm
Right.
not
Right.
taking sides with anybody, because
Or
I have friends.
like you said too, Carla, it's like a lot of these people that also, then you have people that judge. That's on there. That's the other thing. When you do this panel, your subs are going to take your side. Those are your subs. And so all of a sudden, all those people, and it's some people that you thought liked you, and all of a sudden they're attacking you too. And you're like, so why are you attacking me? Did I do anything to you personally? No. So honestly, this is between me and her, then it should be discussed between me and you. But
Yeah, right.
when you, like I said, when you can't get to that point where discussion, it's not there anymore. Why bother? You have your reasons, I have mine, and I know my truth, and I've said my truth. But if that you want to call me a liar for saying my
I don't
truth,
even
go
say my
ahead.
truth anymore.
Go ahead.
I don't even say my truth anymore. It's done. You know what I mean? Like, people, I'm not going to make anybody that comes in my chat. I'm not following you around YouTube. You go where you want to go.
Thank you.
That's on you. Like, you might go into a chat that maybe I don't particularly care for. That's fine with me. Like, I seriously fine with me. And I know
That's part of the problem that I have when people give you shit about having Tucker up here. It's like, why are you going to vilify Carla because she's befriended someone that you happen not to like? Regardless of what you believe Tucker did or didn't do, is he such a piece of shit that he's undeserving of a friendship? I mean, even mass murderers deserve love and friendship.
Thank you.
How can you? I just don't agree. Listen, I'm upset with Tucker. I have my feelings about Tucker, but I would never say that he is undeserving of love and friendship. That's just
Right.
it's an inhuman thing to do.
And
I would never
here's
do
the
it.
thing, Shauna, I have
And
never
shame on
talked to him.
people who would do it. Sorry, Carla. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, that's okay. But the thing with Tucker is here. He has never done anything to me. I was not a part of that whole thing. He's been nothing but kind to me, and people, and
Of course.
I think it was Dave the fisherman said, well, would you be kind to, oh, who did he say? Oh, Ted Bundy. And I said, I don't know. I don't know all the background of that. I know when he comes up on my panel, I get a lot of shit about it. But he comes up and we don't talk about any of that stuff unless the
Well,
troll.
and being kind to someone doesn't absolve. You're not absolving Tucker of his sins. You've not
No.
said Tucker. You didn't say anything like that. You're just being kind to another human being. How
Right.
dare someone make you feel bad for that? That's not
Right.
okay in my book.
Right. I agree 100%.
Yeah. And
100%.
I'm sorry. I mean, I apologize. I like him. I've apologized. I don't.
There's no reason for you to apologize.
Well,
Apologize,
you know,
Carla.
Right.
You
no,
should
but
never
Here's
apologize.
the thing about
Thank you.
controversial people that are on YouTube that Carla allows on her panel. The thing is that Carla's not making a judgment on them one way or the other. We're
Right.
all adults and we can all decide on our own
Right.
whether we like or dislike that person. The
Right.
fact that he's here or she is here doesn't mean anything about Carla at all. And
Right.
she made her panel that way, and people need to be aware of that. Carla is a non-judgmental panel.
Well, and I expect if someone's up on my panel for my chat, and I've gotten flack for this too, that the chat be respectful. At least respect. You don't have to agree who's on my panel. I'm not making you agree with who's on my panel if you have issues with them. But there's a real good way to resolve that, and that's to leave. If you really have that much of a problem with that person, it's easy to
And you've
just
always said that. Be respectful towards others, and that's perfect. That's
And even in the chat, I tell people if you
Yeah.
guys have issues with each other, block each other, and that's it. You know, you can
Right.
still enjoy the chat.
It would be so disrespectful
Coexisting.
and wrong to bring my personal BS into your channel. When you have a guest up here, or even in your side chat, it would be wrong for me to start arguing with them and you on your channel when you're not even doing that.
But you
know what I
have,
mean?
and they do that though. I've
Yeah,
seen it. I've lived it. I've
know.
all over the place, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, like I said, I'm sure if you were once friends, you have each other's phone numbers or email addresses, and if that person blocks you from their phone number, email, there's a reason they don't want to talk. When I tell a person I'm done with you, we're not friends anymore, take that for what I'm really saying. I am done.
Here's what happens on YouTube, though. Okay, someone will. You'll block somebody, and then they'll make a new name, and they'll come up and they'll fight with you. And I've seen it happen over and over.
Oh God, yeah.
That's when that's when you log off, boo boo, because you're not going to
log off, boo boo.
Find out where you go. Because a lot of us go in the same chats, so
right.
you know. But I don't want that. I don't want that here. I mean, it doesn't solve anything. Like I said, when I had that problem with Manya. And it wasn't a big thing, so don't.
It wasn't. It was just right.
It was just something that I didn't want.
She was just trying to educate me, number one, and trying to say, like I said, don't let that get to you. It's over, and if they come in here, we'll take care of it because this is my channel, you know,
Right.
and that's up to me to, you know, just tell me, and then I'll handle it. Especially if they come out and they start saying something. Trust me, that's what my mods are for. That's what we're here for. We're not gonna, you know.
I'm not gonna allow someone to be berated, you know, for
right,
you know,
for something that
or
happened, especially, you know, or something just because they were friends and now they're not friends, and then they're going to come into a channel and try to strong arm them, or you know how they'll just sit there and just aggravate the person that's there. I've seen that done.
But I went to her privately. The point of all of this is I went to her privately.
Right.
because her feelings were hurt. She was like, she thought I hated her. I'm like, no,
Right.
if I didn't care about you, I wouldn't, I would
And
just
that's the
let it
one
go.
thing, right? That's the one thing that I really respected her for, by saying, if I didn't like you, I would have never said anything to you. It's
Yeah.
because I like you.
And
And
I
God,
I want to treat people how I want to be treated.
thank you.
It goes back to
What your mom
I
said.
made serious mistakes in my life. I've made horrible mistakes in my life, things that I can't even forgive myself for. But that does, if people were to judge me about those mistakes that I made 20 years ago, I
Right.
would have no friends. Like I would have nothing. I wouldn't be able to talk to people. I wouldn't even talk to my own mother because, I would be judging her for. It's so silly.
It's
Young people as
ridiculous.
they
Yeah.
are now.
We've all done things.
Things that we're not proud
How
of.
many of us, have lived the life of a saint? I don't
Right.
think any of us have.
No.
Well,
So
But it goes
except for when
back
you're in your
to,
nun outfit.
you're
as
going
far
to,
as I'm concerned, you started to exist when I met you. As far as
right.
what happened before that time,
I don't
unless
care.
you want to talk about it, and like you're talking about, you're answering questions and stuff. Unless you want to talk about something, because we had I would say a chat about domestic violence, and I only had people on my panel that wanted to talk about it, that were willing to talk about it. But, as far as I'm concerned, most people only existed from the time I met them. What they did before, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, it's not my business. It's not my business to know. I don't want some people coming to me, and this one did that, or this one did that, or she's got a mugshot out there, or you know what I mean? Like, I've seen that done so many times, and it's counterproductive, I think. What does it do?
And what's the point? What is it?
You.
Right. That's my point. What are you trying to prove? Are you making
I
yourself
don't know.
feel, they make themselves feel better that they can go and they can create chaos and lies everywhere they go. Oh, great. You get an award for that.
I
Are
think
you?
a lot of times it's just that they need content. I really seriously
Yeah, they
believe
do.
that.
Yes, they
They need
do.
something to talk about. So,
They need content. You made your point. Like I said before, you made your point. Get over it.
but one
Hashtag.
time someone asked me, they said, what community are you in? I had to think about it, because I'm like, I watch drama. I watch like Diane and Wendy's, which is drama. They never said it was anything different, but I don't consider it really drama. Maybe have I had some drama on here? Oh my God, I have. But on the most part, it's just morning chit chat. That's
Right. You're not.
like
That's what
this
I would
morning.
say.
It's not drama. This morning we're just talking with friends, people that are coming in my chat every day, and I don't even consider the people that come in subscribers, because I think that's so like, impersonal. I like to call everybody that comes in my chat, especially the ones that come in frequently, that I see frequently. You're all my
Mm-hmm.
friends in here.
Right. You're our friends too, Carla.
Aww.
That's why we love you.
So yeah.
I mean, you
I
do,
don't know.
and you make
Go ahead.
friends on YouTube. You do, and you become close with those people. But
Absolutely.
Well, can I ask you a question,
me?
Shauna?
Oh, Shauna.
Sure.
I know everything about you. Um,
Okay.
how long have you been on YouTube?
So about 6 years
Really?
almost. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So have they been having
Longer than
these
me.
live streams like for that long? Because I only found live streams like a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
I never even knew they existed, to be honest with you. I never knew all this stuff.
Hold on. Sorry about
happened.
that. Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Who's saying hold on?
Shauna.
Oh, she must have lost connection.
No, she's just muted. Good morning, Blackhearted.
Good morning to
anybody
people that
else
just
I've
come
missed.
in. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning.
Blackhearted, I am blocked. You have me blocked. I don't know why she blocked me. Well, I can be honest.
Sorry.
If someone hurt a child, oh, what did I ask you? Oh, yeah, I never found live streams till about a year and a half ago. So really don't know a lot of the history of, I didn't even know they had them, to be honest with you.
When
I didn't
I
even
came
know they
on
had
YouTube,
I didn't either.
it was sort of the end of the era of making videos back and forth to each other, and they used to have this thing called Google Hangouts.
Yeah,
Um,
they
Right.
still do.
so yeah, that's sort of what it was like, but what didn't happen a lot. It happened very rarely.
Mhm.
Now it happens all the time. Like people do live things before they do videos.
Mhm.
So 5 years ago, it wasn't like that. It was like maybe a live once a week, and everything else was a video.
Yeah. I've been on YouTube since 2014, okay? But I always used YouTube for, like, I did DIY things. I learned how to crochet on YouTube, but I knew nothing about the live streams. I knew nothing about, and I guess I've heard people say that it's never been as bad as it is now on YouTube. Before, it used to be people throwing tomatoes at each other, but now it's gotten really bad, like with the swatting and all that. And I was never on, I never knew, and I was not there at that time when everything was, just, I throw a tomato at you and you throw a tomato back. So you were
Yeah.
probably around for that. I don't know. Were you always
Well,
in the drama?
when I first came to Boy, the worst thing that would happen was you would get like some like mail sent to your house that would be like silly magazines or some BS like that. But a few months ago, I had a friend who they called CPS on her, and that was devastating to her and her family. And like I just seeing that stuff, the doxing, the swatting, the CPS calling. That's to me, that's an abuse of authority and
Yes.
public safety, and I just don't
Yes.
agree with it. And then I
I
don't
don't
agree with
either.
real life either. But I've seen people that I like go real life, and they go real life against people who have gone real life to them, and they justify it and all that stuff. I try not to judge. That's how
See,
I don't operate that way. I don't agree with it, and I
that
just don't do it to other people.
that was my mistake. Yeah, you fall into that, and it's easy to fall into when people
Right.
do to you, and then you're like, "Oh, how did you? How dare you?" And I'm going to do the same. And I fell
Sure.
into that, and I'll never go down that rabbit hole again because it's not good to do. And at the time I thought I was being justified, and I'm saying this because she did that to me, and she said that about me, and then I was like, what did it solve? Because now that person's, they come back and they do it back to you, and you're just like, you know what? I'm not gonna.
We're
It's
not
not
going to talk about that.
right.
Remember?
Right. It's not worth it. It's not. It's not.
Yeah.
It's just not
It
worth
isn't, because it just, whenever you do that, and I've
Right.
found this, if you completely ignore the hatefulness or it goes away. It does. Maybe not right away, but it does go away eventually. I mean, I just go on with what I do, and that's it. I don't address it. I'm not addressing it. I'm not even acknowledging.
Right.
I just do my own thing in the mornings, and people seem to like it. Like, I'm not building an empire. And I like to say that because that's what Laura says all the time. She is building an empire. I'm not building an empire. And that's not anything against her. God bless her if she can do it. But I'm not doing it.
Mhm.
I'm just, in the mornings and sometimes on the weekends, just having fun.
Mhm.
And that's what I like to, that's what I like to do. And and to be honest with you, I don't get out, and I especially haven't got out in the last since March. So this is kind of like socializing for me. I don't know about. I think for a lot of people on here, it's been like socializing.
Yeah. Ben, thank you for that, because I was just going to type that, but now that because I was like, what is, he said he learned a new word today, is dry bagging. And I go, what the heck is dry bagging? And he just told me, he just broke it down and told me it's a way of people asking for things in a different way. Like
Sixth
money.
Sense says, "He who seeks revenge must first dig 2 graves."
Thank you, Six
I have
Sense.
no
Yep.
idea what that means, but yeah.
Well,
I
just
guess
like what we're saying, if you're out for revenge, before you do it, look at yourself.
Yeah. Look in the mirror.
Thank you.
Like if you can look at your mirror and you're not doing anything wrong, then just
But
remember,
there are people that do look in the mirror, and it's called narcissistic people because they don't see that what they're doing is the wrong thing or feeding into the junk. It's
Yeah.
sometimes
And
like you, it takes a person to direct it to you and say, just let it go.
well, here's what I said, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Don't judge me and I'm not ordering you, but I know a lot of people do. Don't judge me from what other people say about me.
Right.
Judge me if I've done something to
wrong
you.
to you.
And then if I have done something to you to offend you, come to me.
Right.
And I'll try and make it right. I will, because I'm not on here to hurt anybody.
Right.
At all.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean,
Totally agree.
Tracy's bringing up things that happened 5 years ago when I first came on, and she's right. Like, we had things like, so people, how people sort of porn out other people on their live streams now? Before,
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Been there.
You would get the link to the Google Hangout, and someone would give it out, and then you'd have like these horrible trolls basically come up on a panel and scare the living crap out of people because this was all new to us. So we would like a Google Hangout link. How would you get a Google Hangout link? And all of a sudden you'd be hearing like The Purge playing in the background and shit. It was scary for people because we didn't know what the hacking was. And I mean, imagine being and that being your first introduction to like seeing what YouTube is like. It was scary at the time. Now it's like lighthearted and kind of funny. But back then it was scary. I'm like, oh God, what did we do?
And Frenchie said, and I agree 100% with Frenchie saying, like, she said, we had a lady that pretended to be dying of cancer and was on a panel signing and had allegedly prepared all her assist suicide in Belgium and had a major asthma attack live. It was the show that must go on. I've known this person that I was
how
just
about
like,
people that have said they died, like that Montana Sky had his nephew come in my chat.
yeah, and
I was actually crying.
Me too.
Crying.
I was
Real
too.
tears.
I was too, Carla. I was shocked.
Never
to
be
myself
sorry
that
for being a human
this
being.
person. We
Never.
started. I had people investigating, and they were like, "She doesn't have cancer by a long shot." And I was like, "What?" And then remember back in what was it, Tennessee, where they had the bad rain and people's houses were destroyed. This person actually sent us pictures and said, "Look at my house is destroyed." And I was like, "Oh my God, you're so sorry." And if I could help you, I would help you. And come to find out by someone doing their homework, those pictures weren't even her house. It was someone else's house. And it was someone that was close to her family member.
Blackhearted says, does anyone on panel think there are lines someone can cross before it's not acceptable? And due to someone else, they couldn't look past in her life, in life.
And here,
there's definitely things that are unacceptable.
Right.
Bring it out into the open. I'm not sure. If it was going to hurt other people, that's the only way I would bring something out in the open. I don't know about any of you, but if it was something that they did to me that I knew would hurt somebody else, that's when I would maybe bring it to light. I don't know about you, Shauna, or you, Nanya, or you, Dory.
Well, yeah, because like I said, a person that said that her house was destroyed and showed you pictures and you found out whose house that really was. And you're just like, first of all, after being stunned and then sitting there going, why would you do stuff like this? I mean, you faked cancer, you faked this. What is wrong with you? You had people crying on panel. You had people feeling bad.
Yeah.
And then to come out that this is not even your house and you're saying this was
your house. So here's the thing. I mean, I don't know if this is the softie in me or I have I told you I studied psychology, so I have that sort of mind. But to me, someone who fakes cancer is asking for a kind of help that is, it's not right. I'm not justifying it, but there's still a sick individual who deserves some sort of attention and love. Now, are they getting it the right way? No. Is it the appropriate thing to do to be manipulating people on YouTube? No. Especially if they're putting money into it and manipulating
Well,
feelings
and
and
that's
all
what
that
was
stuff.
happening too. They were
That's
asking for
horrible.
they were asking for
But I
money too.
still
So
have a soft spot in my heart. Like the woman that Frenchie was just mentioning about before. I still love that person. I have love for her. I should say. I know what she did. I don't like it. I was one of the people crying, but I still see them in side chat, and I still wish them nothing but love. And it's not someone that I would want to be friends with because I'm not exactly sure how much I could trust. But
right.
it's someone that I still have love for.
Well,
The thing
Yeah, I understand that.
I can, and I'm a softie too, but I'm like, you hurt a lot of people by doing that.
what
So
what
Well,
is the
I think that
name? What is
people
the
have been
name?
exposed for that, and I
what?
here's how I feel. I guess Analyzer was one that comes to mind. First of all,
I
because
don't
it was
know that
when
story.
I don't know the story either because it was after she had been exposed. And I went into her chat a few times when she changed her name, and I thought, this woman is so sad. Like I felt bad for her, but I didn't know the whole. I don't know the whole story. I wasn't party to the whole story. I didn't give money, So, and the same with Tucker. I just think he wants a place where he can go, and if I'm going to be made into a demon because I allow him on my panel. I don't. I really like him. I don't know. I can apologize for that, but I just think he's comfortable here, and he comes here, and it's a place where he can go, and no one's going to come at him. Well, people do come at him, but they come at me too. So, I wasn't involved in that whole thing, so I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong to feel bad, but I did feel bad for her. So, and I feel like, with Tucker, it's the same thing. He's never done anything to me. And would I be friends with Ted Bundy? I don't know. I don't know if I didn't know what he had done, maybe if he was nice to me, you know what I mean? It's probably coming out wrong, but it's,
Did you guys
I
ever see
don't,
that movie Dead Man Walking?
yes,
I didn't see that. Was it
yes,
good?
So,
yes.
well, it's sort of the same thing. Like, it was a
Susan
nun
Sarandon.
who found, yeah, well, but that was based on a true story. She found
Yeah.
compassion for someone who did some horrendous things, and she treated that person as a human being. And how can you not treat other people like a human being, regardless of what they've done?
No, I understand that, but she
Like
didn't
that's
know
just the
him
way I
like to
feel.
like. Here's a person that did this to you, is what I'm saying. Like, you knew who this person was because you cried for them when they
Right,
said they had
but
this.
at no time did you see that nun absolving that person of his sin. As a matter of fact, she held his feet to the fire, but she still gave him
Yes.
love. And isn't that what best friends do, or the people who love you the most? I mean, that's what my mom
I
taught
don't
me.
know. I wasn't her best
When
friend. I just knew her as a friend. And
I
I think by her dad, she betrayed
when I
not
was
just me,
a
but
kid,
she
I
betrayed
stole a piece of cake
everybody.
store. My mom made me turn around and give it back.
Right.
This is how I kind of feel about
So,
when people, lots of people make mistakes, do things that they would be ashamed of if they did it in real life on YouTube.
Mhm.
But if you don't show compassion to these people, because obviously they're suffering from something, they can never improve themselves. And isn't what we want is for people to improve, not get worse, not be more horrible? No, do you kind of see where I'm coming from here?
Yeah, but when you have people telling her and saying you need help, you need this, and
But
she doesn't
if
think
you
she
had a
needs
friend
help.
and you found out they did that, would you not go to her and say, you're wrong?
Yeah,
Try to
Absolutely.
steer her in
Right.
the right direction?
anybody
Right.
of their indiscretions, but I wouldn't treat them in a non-human way. I would try to show some compassion for the fact that they had some kind of suffering that no one else could see, and they're not even showing it, the real suffering to us.
Okay, and I'm going to use Brian as an example here. Brian comes up on my panel. A lot of people hate Brian. He's done some probably bad things.
Right.
No, I'm going to say it. He's done some bad things on here. He's doxed people. He's done some bad things. People don't like him. A lot of people don't like him. But, you know, they throw things at him because his son is in prison for killing a child. They throw things like baby killer and, you know, stuff at him that he's never done. That's specifically to hurt him.
Right.
Specifically to hurt him. For
Right.
something that he did not do, that his
Right.
son did. So that's reaching into his real life and bringing it onto YouTube and using that to, you know, to throw at him. And do I agree with everything he does? He knows I don't. But, you know, he's a human being and we're all human beings. And there's always room to, like, be forgiven. I think a lot of people have been forgiven for some pretty awful things they've done on YouTube. I've seen it. I've seen it happen. Or some awful things they've said. I've heard some awful things on here. Terrible things. But, you know, eventually people get forgiven and are, you know, or maybe not. I don't know. I'm not around enough to know a lot of the stories that happened, you know, since 2010 or whatever, however long you've all been on YouTube. I don't know. I haven't been on that long. So, but I have never experienced the hate coming at me that I've experienced on here. I'll put that out there. Not on Facebook, not on Twitter, nowhere have I seen anything even comparable to what I've seen on here. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But if we all tried to remember that there's a human being behind every keyboard on here, every word that we're talking about, then maybe we would be a little more understanding of people. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Even people we don't like. Like, if you don't like someone, just ignore them. You know, just, you know, move on. If you can't be, you know, if you can't get along with them, you know you can't get along with them, and it's never going to happen. What's this? Jason Love. It's when someone holds the fact that someone they know lost the love of life through suicide, and someone is telling her he killed himself to get away from, oh, God.
Right.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, that's a terrible thing.
You know, I was thinking about things that I have sort of hot button issues for me. Suicide is one of them for personal reasons, and so is cancer for personal reasons. And I don't like when people try to manipulate me with those two specific things. With that being said, you know, I get to meet someone who I found unworthy of love. I realize that I can be a softie, though, and I realize that I might be wrong in that, but that's just how I feel.
I do get offended when people manipulate others in order to get financial gain on YouTube. Manipulation is rampant on YouTube, and I've seen a lot of it, and that's where I find I might want to watch it because I want to know what's going on in the world of YouTube, but I tend not to participate in those types of chats, whether I feel sympathetic or not, or if I think they're wrong or not. I tend not to participate because I'm not trying to judge that. I don't know that person. And
that was my point with Tucker. I don't know. I didn't, well, I know him now, but I didn't know him when all that was going on. And when he started coming up on, well, he was kind and good. And we didn't talk about that. We talked about, you know.
I don't believe that compassion.
Thank you, Frenchie. Yep. I'm sorry.
I don't believe that you have to, compassion equals enabling. I don't believe that. I think that you can have compassion for somebody and still hold them responsible for what they've done wrong.
Right.
I agree with that. And, but I think it's really sad if someone feels like they have to use things to manipulate financial gain. I think it's a really sad situation when I see that, because it hurts everyone.
Yes.
Here's what I had a problem with Tucker was, people were saying, you know, we almost got rid of Tucker, but old lady, referring to me, lets him on her panel. Well, he's got his own channel. Okay, so he's not gone. You didn't get him off YouTube. It doesn't work. You just can't kick someone off YouTube.
This is the same community that's been trying to get rid of Dave the Fisherman for the last 5 years. I mean, listen, I've said before, I don't care for Tucker, but to believe that anybody has the power to get anybody else off of YouTube is really self-involved, and sort of, you're kind of full of yourself. You don't have that power.
Right.
You just don't.
And that's my thing, is he has his channel. He's still going to go on his channel. And I like him. I'm sorry. I mean, I apologize. I keep apologizing for it, which I don't have to. But we've never talked about that issue. And I know there's a lot of people that have an issue with me having him on my panel, but he's never done anything to me. People have even jumped off my panel because he's been on there. Okay. You know, I understand that, and I accept that that's your opinion about him. Am I going to be rude to him and say, I'm not going to have him anymore because, you know, I'll lose people as soon as he comes up? No, I'm not, because I have a way of thinking, and I believe, and like Shauna said it earlier, that everybody should be, or will be, or should be, or can be forgiven for whatever they've done. Hopefully whatever he did, he will, you know, resolve it. That's all I can say about that. And I never saw it. I wasn't involved in it. And all I know is what I know from here. And I don't know what else to say, but you know, there's a lot of people that have done things on here, maybe not to the extent that he supposedly did, but you know, I don't know. I just don't know. But, you know, I can't forgive him for something that I wasn't involved in. You know what I mean? So to say,
and I was, and that's why I have a different opinion than you do, and that's okay. You know,
yeah, we both have,
right.
You're allowed to like somebody that I don't like, and I'm allowed to not like somebody that you do like. It's okay.
Exactly.
And you and I can still be friends, and I can still conversate with other people when Tucker's on panel or in the side chat. Like, I'm not so hurt by that situation that I can't be in the same chat room with Tucker. That doesn't mean that you know, I'm friendly with him. It doesn't mean that I support him, contrary to what other people want to believe. It just means that I happen to be at some place that he happens to be at. I like being in your side chat, Carla. I feel safe there. I feel comfortable there. I've been welcomed there. And Tucker obviously does too. And we have the right to be wherever we want to be. And nobody's going to change.
Amen.
And yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and I've said this over and over again. If you don't like someone that's on panel, and I understand it, just, you know, you can leave. You have that option. It's really easy to do. And I'm talking about the chat too. If you don't like someone in the chat, just block them. Block them. You don't even have to see them. And I've done it. I have blocked certain people that I don't even see anymore. I see other people talking to them, but I don't talk to them. And I'm not going to start a fight with anybody in a side chat that belongs to someone else. I just think that's rude. You know, I'm, you know, if I really can't be there because there's, you know, if you don't see someone, you don't see what they're saying to you, because I've you know, I've done it. You know, I've blocked certain people that have come at me, and I don't see them anymore. And it's very, very refreshing, because I go anywhere anymore. There's only like 2 or 3 people that I really can't tolerate for myself. I mean, I won't even leave names. I won't say names, because you know, that's my own personal thing. And but I don't see them. So if I don't see them, how can it bother me? Whatever, even if they're coming at me, it doesn't bother me, because I don't see it. So, and I wish everybody could be like with your mindset, Shauna, because you know, it would be like someone saying, well, I'm not going to go in her chat because she's got a transgender person on her panel. And I don't believe in that, well, too bad.
Yeah. It's just so silly. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do you find YouTube is kind of like high school? Like,
Oh my God. Sometimes grade school.
Sometimes,
Are you kidding me?
yeah,
It's
sometimes I question myself, like, why do,
right. Why am
but
I
the
here?
truth is, if I'm being honest with myself, I love the bullshit. I love when people are being petty but I love it when I'm not involved in it. When I get involved in it, then I get very sensitive very quickly, which is why I
right,
try to be fair to everybody, because I don't want to see people that I care about get hurt. I don't want to, be involved in the pettiness and in the drama. I don't mind watching it being on the outside, but I have to be
right.
very outside, because when I get involved, I get too sensitive. And
What
I,
about the meanness? Like, here's what I don't like. When they start
Either.
attacking looks, when they start attacking age,
That's what I'm
they
saying.
you can attack, you can disagree and you can go back and forth. But when you start attacking kids, attacking, and I've seen it done, like, bringing up kids, bringing up families, and it's happened to me. That's when I think I can't watch anymore. And I'm not even talking about me because it's been done to me, but I can't watch. And I can't watch someone in tears when they're severely hurt. And it happened on my panel just last Monday. Did I enjoy it? No, I don't enjoy seeing anybody upset. I just don't.
yeah,
But there was things that needed to be straightened out, but I didn't. I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy seeing people in tears. I really don't. I don't enjoy seeing people hurt, their feelings hurt.
of
I don't.
course.
But sometimes it's good natured, back and forth. I like seeing it when two people are strong individuals and can take it. You know what I mean? They can take it and they can give as good as they get. Then it's kind of fun to watch. And neither of them get upset, or you know what I mean? But I guess I haven't been on YouTube long enough to get to that point where that just rolls off my back completely.
Yeah, yeah.
So, so
Well, listen,
maybe
I'm gonna
maybe
hop off. Go ahead.
what's that?
I was just gonna say I'm gonna hop off the panel and go into the side chat because I got
Okay.
some chores I want to finish. But thank you so much for having
Okay,
me.
Shauna. You come up
Shauna, thank
again. Thank
you.
Nice
you
to meet
so
you,
much. It
It
Shauna.
was
was
so great to
great.
have you up.
Yeah,
I
that
really
was great
appreciate that.
conversation. I really
Yeah,
enjoyed it. And thank you
yeah,
for educating me. I'm
yeah,
going to say me especially because I didn't know half the
Oh,
things. And, and
sure.
and just to see your side and your feelings gives it a whole different perspective on it too. We
yeah,
need knowing somebody else's feelings on it. I think is so important to try to help everybody with this situation. To say,
yes, it is.
let's have some compassion in this,
Yeah,
and stop judging a book by its cover. You know.
Well,
So thank you.
it's interesting and important to me to be open to answering questions and to be open to hearing other people's opinions. I would really like it, like the next time Misdemeanor is on, to come back on so that she and I can talk, because I don't know much about her opinions and how she feels. I know she
Right.
has a strong opinions about other things, that I don't know much about. But this specific issue is interesting to me because, like I said, I hear a lot of praise. I get a lot of, thank you and you're so brave and all that stuff. But I don't hear what people are scared of or what people are worried about. And that's what
right.
I would hear. I would never want someone to come across me in a public situation, like if we were in the same bathroom or something, and feel scared. That would be so traumatic for me. And God forbid if
Right.
that ever happens. So let's talk about it. Let's see where your
Yeah,
fears
let's
are
see.
coming from.
And maybe in the future, things like I said, I don't think we've come as far with transgender as we have for the gay community. And I'm speaking homosexuals and lesbians. I don't think, and maybe we need to talk about it more and put it out into the open and talk about it,
Yeah.
But
Well, and
thank
the
Hmm.
you
truth is
so
that
much.
there are even between the gay community and the trans community, there are issues. I
Yes.
mean,
Oh, sure.
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. and like there's issues between white and black, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like it's all, to me, and we've talked about that too. And we've come a long way, but we've got a long way to go.
Yes.
I'll just
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
that.
Absolutely. I agree. I agree with that.
And we all have to, like, it's important to remain teachable. Even me, like, sometimes I get very defensive or very sensitive, and I sort of shut down, and I try to fight that when it comes
I,
to
and
different issues that
but
I'm
I
passionate
think
about.
a lot of the other people too. It's because they're defensible because of how they're being treated. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's really hard to
Well,
have a thick skin and keep your chin up when people are always bringing you down about it.
Well, and also we need to have panels like this where people
Yeah.
can, at least people that are willing to talk, like you were willing to come up and answer the questions, and that we're not afraid to ask you. We're not afraid
well,
to.
and the
Mhm.
truth is that I have to, when I walk out of my door this morning, I have to
Mhm.
put on, I have to watch my back, basically. I have to put up a defense because I don't know when that time is going
Right.
to be. Someone's going to be offended by my existence, or want to challenge my existence, or want to say that I don't deserve to exist. And it's happened before. Go back into my channel and find the stories where I've had to defend myself. And so I
Wow.
have to do that every day. And
That's
so that makes
sad.
it different than other,
Yeah.
that's the difference between me and you. And that's why I feel so passionate about having the right to live and having the right to use the bathroom and having the right to just
Right.
survive. I'm not asking for special treatment. I'm asking for survival treatment. Not once have you heard me say that the government has paid for anything that I've had done.
Right.
It just
Right.
doesn't happen, and I'm not asking for that. I'm
Right.
asking
No.
for basic human survival rights, just like everybody else.
And
I, I
that's the thing. You weren't asking for any special treatment. You weren't asking for, your surgery. You weren't asking for, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
you were just asking to be treated like the rest of us are treated. And I
yeah.
don't see any
Yeah.
problem with
I
that.
don't either.
I
I don't
really
either.
don't. And some people might disagree with me, but at least everybody, I hope you feel like everybody was being respectful to you with your
Yeah.
questions.
Absolutely.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, I was always my mother. With all of us, always told us kids number one, treat people how you wanted to be treated. Respect your elders, and just because a person
We
looks
are the
different,
elders. Hello.
now we are. But just because a person looks different doesn't mean they are. And don't judge a book by its cover. And
Yeah.
I never ever did that with people. And like I said, I had gay friends too, and I just love them. You know, always respected
My
them.
sister, this is a funny story. My sister wouldn't go out with anyone but gay guys. And I would ask her,
Oh, they're so much fun to be around. I'm telling
why
you.
wouldn't you go out? She goes, well, first of all, they'll shop with me. They'll
Yep.
dance when I go out with them.
Yep.
I'm not saying that that's like every gay guy, because that's like putting them in one.
And they don't expect you at the
And
end of the
she,
night to go to
all
bed
her
with them just
friends,
because they're
all
drinking.
her friends were gay, all of them. My mom would
Yeah.
say, "You're never going to get married. You're never going to get married because all your friends are gay. They don't want you." My sister was crazy, but whatever.
I agree. I love them.
That's just funny.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, and I'll
Oh,
talk to you
thank you
soon. I'll be in the
Thank
bottom.
you,
I'll be in the
Shauna.
back channel.
Okay,
Okay.
Shauna, and come up again, please.
Thank you.
You
I
don't
will.
have to talk about this
I
every
have to
time.
plug my phone in, Carla, and
All right.
I have it on YouTube, but it's lagging so bad that it still shows on YouTube. It still shows Jenna there, and so my computer's not being so. You might hear some clicking. Okay,
All right.
sorry.
Okay. So, anybody else want to come up and talk? We're still up.
Curious,
We're still live.
I'm curious about what Anna Mary is talking about.
Anna Mary.
She says
Not
that
on my watch, you won't.
and black-hearted to no end when he terrorizes our friend and tell her that her fiance killed himself to get away from her. I, this came up earlier, but I'm not really sure.
I think they're talking about Ben.
Oh, okay.
I think Ben said something to Who did he say it to? Her name. She's from Scotland, I believe. Oh, I think he said that to her, and it is unacceptable. He knows how I feel about him saying that. Just wanted to say hello. It is unfortunate subs are having to go through this. YouTube should do more. YouTube, I was under the understanding that as of January of this year, they were going to fix the bullying and stuff, but I
Yeah,
don't
they
think they did
didn't.
such a good
Right.
job of it.
And there's a thing called gang bullying because
Clary,
they have a lot.
Clary.
Yeah.
Yes, it was Clary that he said that to, and that was unacceptable. And don't worry, I don't forget what he said about her. He knows I didn't agree with that. But hopefully he's not saying, did he say it again tomorrow? Because he's not going to say it in my chat. I asked him about that. Not bringing any drama to my channel.
Yeah, well, they were because they were getting into it. That's why I was like, "What's going on down there?" But I guess
Well, if he gets timed out, it's
left.
because he's saying stuff. Ben has said it more than one person who lost someone to suicide. I haven't seen it. I'm sorry, Blackhearted. It's not, and that's not acceptable.
No, it's not.
It isn't. Yes, Ben has crossed several lines many times, and when I'm around, I don't want to see it. Yeah, I don't want to see it either. I really don't. I know that, Carla. She has never got over it. Is that why she's not on YouTube? Because of what he said to her? I'm just reading chat, guys. I'm not ignoring anybody. I swear I'm not ignoring anybody.
That's sad because everybody's upset now. See,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's not good. It's the one. See how one person, it can say something stupid that shouldn't be said, and they know it. So what was that for?
And I really don't want people thinking that I agree with that, because I don't.
And you don't. You know,
Is Ben is
he left.
Yeah, and Ben is my friend. Not my friend, but I mean, I've known Ben for a year and a half now. Did I know he was doing all that stuff? No, I didn't. I think it's sad. I think it's very sad. And if it offends you, for him coming in, I will ask him not to come in here anymore, because I really don't want anybody being offended because of one person. For me, it doesn't matter if he said it today or a month ago. Yeah, I understand that, Blackhearted. It doesn't matter to me either. Even if he was drunk, it doesn't matter. It isn't acceptable. Samara, I will be your man. I will be your man. And we would ride along.
You're awesome, Samara. Thank you.
I could so see it. Call me Frenchie. Nat. But I don't want people getting mad at me because
they're not mad at you. No. They're not mad at you. It was resolved.
I know that you would never agree with that, Carla. I understand that you look out for him in a motherly way. I wouldn't ask you to do that. I look out for him. It's not that I look out for him. I do not accept bad behavior. I had him blocked for a long time because of the whole issue about, I couldn't watch because I saw he was self-destructing. I didn't want to wake up one morning and see him hanging in his shed. Okay, that's where I saw him going. But a lot of the stuff that he said, I haven't seen. If he comes in, I don't care. I just say my views and respect not getting blocked. Oh, no, you're not going to get blocked. Absolutely not. Oh, no. No one is mad at you, Carla. No one. Yeah, I just passed up in next life. No one is mad. Yeah, hi, Top. I didn't say hello to you. I was too busy.
Here, here's me. Hi.
There she is.
with her pretty hair.
There's the clicker. There's the clicker. Yeah, your hair is really pretty today.
Thank you. I curled it a little.
See, your hair is way thicker than mine. Mine.
It's not. It's. I have a lot of it, but it's fine. You know what I mean?
Mine is fine.
And
Mine
it
is
used to be
really fine.
short. When I was long, my ponytails were like that big. It long.
Look at that. Let me see your nail polish.
Oh, my bright yellow
I was
nails.
going to say, you smoke a lot. Your nails have even turned red.
No, I
yellow.
quit smoking. No, don't say that. That's because I was in a yellow mood and to match my new car, so that's what I did.
We need to rise up and not hold on to all the bad times. Just use the block feature, though. I have not, no one blocked. This is your house, your rules.
I'm like,
Yeah,
Thank
he
you.
wants everybody to be happy too.
I do not block people because I don't want anyone creeping up behind me without me seeing them. I'm sorry. This is my feeling about it.
Here's what I do, and I don't start trouble in chats, but I do have a name, and I don't call it a troll name. It's a name that I use if I see someone's adding me, you know, or talking to someone and I can't see them in a chat for some reason. I will go to that account, and it's not a bad account. It's not, I'll tell you all what it's called Grace Anatomy. It's, you know, if you
One of
see
my
that in
favorite
chat,
shows.
yeah, that's my, it's not a troll name. It's just a name that I go in so that, you know, and there's numbers behind it, so that no one knows the numbers. But it's Grace Anatomy, and it's just so I can go in a chat and actually, you know, see what everybody's saying if I don't see what everybody's saying. So that's the only thing
See what I'm saying?
I use. I guess that's a troll. I guess that's considered a troll account. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm reading my email.
Oh,
For work.
how rude.
I'm sorry. I needed to answer this email because
Oh my God, I am the worst for
I'm-
answering emails. Ask Dory.
I have to
Yeah.
because I haven't
She
been.
sent me an email like a month and a half ago.
Next to
I know you
me,
haven't.
Oh
I-
my God.
I have thousands of unread
I
emails.
just got an email
You
saying
do?
that my
That
package
would
from
drive me
Amazon.
crazy.
Guess what? My package from Amazon.
About a year ago, I had 20,000, and it took me 2 days to delete them all.
I know. I've got
Yeah, it
22,000.
does, doesn't
It's
it?
going to take me forever.
And
Ever.
now I'm back up to over 1,000. You know, I just
Do you want
whatever.
to come up, Frenchie? Natalie is pretty cool.
Frenchie?
She's very how can I put this? She's very blunt. She's very articulate. She's very, if you watch her in the chat, I mean, you can take her the wrong way, and I have taken her the wrong way. I thought, you know, she was insulting me, but she, and I've said this before, your friends will tell you, and, you know, what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, because you want to hear, oh, everything you do is right, and everything you say is right. No, your friends are going to say, no, that was wrong. You
Yeah,
should.
that's way too many rules for me, Carla. I can't follow all those rules.
Right. And it's not, you know, it's not about, oh, someone needs to be, oh, there's, hi, Diana. How are you this morning?
Hi, Diana. I watched her for a little bit last
Why
night.
is everything,
So
okay,
cute.
do I have any moderators in here? Because I need moderators in here because every time Diana types something, it doesn't come up. I am here late, waking up with my coffee. I was up late last night, trying to
Yeah,
sleep
she
an
was.
extra hour per night, starting college next week at 63 years old. So resting up beforehand.
Yeah, she's going to college.
It's not too late to do anything, everything.
She's my younger sister.
Yeah,
Is she?
a sister from a different mister.
Oh, okay. See, I take everything like, oh, really? I was on there last night for just 5 minutes because then she got off. But I love her advice. Advice she gives is just learning experiences and from the heart, and you know about God, and you're just drawn. I was drawn to that. I just love her. I think
Misdemeanor said she was making her husband dinner. I don't know. She's too busy for me lately.
I would like to know what year Misdemeanor was born, because I still think there is, because she's adopted, I still think there could be a slight possibility that she could be my sister, because she looks so much like my sister. And I don't know her exact date of birth, but I do know that my father he worked for the Canadian government, and he had to leave the country and go to Peru for 3 months. But that doesn't mean he spent that whole 3 months in Peru, because I'm sure they flew him wherever he wanted to go for vacation. And
Well, did she say that she was born in Peru?
no, she's born in Texas. I'm just saying that my father was away for 3 months back in the 70s,
Oh,
and I don't know what year she was born, but I'm thinking she was probably born sometime in the 70s. And when he was in Peru, because he worked for
she
the
might have
government,
been born in the 60s.
maybe. I'm not sure, but because he was in Peru doesn't mean he spent the whole time in Peru, because they would
Right,
pay for him to go on weekend somewhere
right,
else. Like maybe they flew him to Texas.
right.
I don't know. You see what I'm saying? We just wouldn't know what he was doing those 3 months at all.
You'll have to ask her. I really
Yeah.
don't.
So
I don't even know what her birthday is.
I'm just saying, if she was born in the early 70s, it's possible. I
The
mean,
full Monty guy has been making his rounds. By mistake, let him up on panel, and of course, you know the rest. We had to delete the whole stream. We church ladies were all shocked. Oh, she got porned the other day. Diana did. I was, yeah. That day I got porned I was so shocked. Like,
You were freaking
oh my
out.
God, I was
She
panicking.
was
I
panicking.
I
Yeah.
couldn't. I was like, what do I do?
You're
What do
like,
I do?
I'll
What
be
do I
right
do?
back. I'll be
How do I
right
take
back.
it down? I don't want to lose my channel. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, oh my God.
She
I was
does.
like
She's like,
in
I'll
a
be right back,
panic.
guys.
I was in a panic. Never would insult you, Carla. I think that you discredit yourself sometimes and would not insult your intelligent things. I may come from my soul and my values. That's what I was saying, Frenchie, that you don't insult me, but sometimes you're very blunt and to the point. Come on up. It's open panel day, guys.
Come on, Frenchie.
Let's see who I lost. I lost Leo Wife. I lost Jenna. I lost Misdemeanor.
Yeah, where did
Lost
Jenna
Shauna.
go?
I lost who? I lost Ams. I lost Robbie. That's 6 people I managed to lose on one stream.
Where did Jenna go? Did she say
Oh, she dumped off. She said something earlier. She said she had to get off and take a call. Oh,
okay.
they're gone.
Okay.
But anybody else can come on. It's an open panel. This weekend, hopefully, cross your fingers. I'm going to have a really fun stream.
This weekend?
What's that?
This weekend?
I think it's this weekend. I think it might be on Sunday. But I have to talk to the people involved in it first. I'm not making a promise, but it's going to be fun.
Yay!
Hopefully.
Okay.
So can you read the chat for a second? I have to go make coffee.
Yes, I will.
Okay, thank you. Can you see the chat?
I can do that. Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. But hey, I do insult some creators. It is a fact, who are not genuine and pretend or want to be wannabes. Amen, Frenchie. Amen to you. And what were we talking about? Diane, you should come up here. I love the way I love your insight about things. I would love you to come up here. You were born in the 50s, so was I, but you're you're older than me. I was 57, so you got to be 56.
I was 56.
You're 56, how, and you're 63?
Yep. No, 64.
Oh, you're 64. She's 63. Because I'm 57 and I'm 62.
She may have been born the same year as me, but just
the
later on in the
birthdays.
year.
Yeah. Yeah, because your birthday is probably
May.
oh, that's why. I'm November. I'm a Scorpio.
Just like my daughter.
You really what's her birthday?
November 4th.
Mine's the 17th. And I don't know what this means. So if anybody knows, please explain this to me. I had a guy one time who used to read, he was really good at doing the horoscopes. And he didn't have time to tell me because we were at work, but he said, I'm a double Scorpion.
And I'm a double Taurus.
Okay, what does that mean?
Thank you, X Games. Thank you for coming in.
Both
being
your
nice.
sun and your moon are in Taurus, or both your sun and your moon are in Scorpio.
Yes, because people have said
What day were you born in November?
I'm the 17th of November.
Oh, okay. Because my sister's the 8th.
And he said I'm a double Scorpion. So that's true, because if I have people say that my moon and my what did you say? My moon and
Your moon and your sun are both
my
in
sun and
Scorpio.
both. Yes. And that's what they told me.
I was born in October.
So is my daughter.
October what?
22nd.
Oh, okay. Not my birthday. My
What-
son is here. He will lose it if I do. Sorry.
Scorpion.
Would love to.
Yay.
Okay. Hey, Natalie, you can come up next time.
Some of my best friends are Scorpios.
Yeah.
They're really good at making friends, and
Yeah.
I'm really not very good at it. So a lot of Scorpios will approach me in friendship, and they're very nice that way. I get along with them because of that.
Yeah, and we get a bad rap. I don't know, somewhere along the way when I was a kid, I used to get such a horrible rap about Scorpios that, you have bad tempers. I don't have a bad temper because I'm a Scorpio. I have a bad temper because it's inbred. I mean, my father has a bad temper. I mean, inbred, like
My
in my
sister's a
genes.
Scorpio, and she's got a bad temper.
Yeah.
Diana, what was I going to say to Diana? I went to sleep at 7 o'clock last night. I took a sleeping pill and just zonked out till this morning. Natalie says she's 56. I got this.
All right.
I speak French. My mother was French. I can speak French.
You
I can understand French too. I watch French movies all the time. Yes, my mother was French. She taught us French. And the French that I got in school.
Oh, she can't come up because her son will lose it.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Je comprends, mademoiselle.
Oui. That's what Joanne taught me all the time, and I would laugh because she's like, "If you're gonna call me oui, don't spell it W-E-W-E."
Michel, ma belle, sont les mots qui vont très bien ensemble. That's my horrible voice. These are the words that go together well. That's what that means.
Hey,
Michel, ma belle.
I just love French because it sounds so sexy when people talk.
It is a sexy language.
It's the language of love.
Well, I used to listen to my mom talk to her sisters on the phone, and I would pick up things. And I would ask my mom what she was talking about, and she would tell us. And I picked up a lot of words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I still remember them. And I can watch a French movie, and I can close my eyes, and I can understand like most of what they're saying because I heard my mom talk it so much.
Oh, I love Joanne Sparkle too, Anna Marie. She's my bestie.
Yes, Joanne and Natalie have the same French Canadian accent.
Do they? Oh my God!
Yeah, they do. They sound the same.
She's from the same area, I think.
One time, I'm going to get Natalie up here, and we're going to talk in French, and I'm going to see if I can understand what she says.
Because Joanne's French Canadian, and she's up there.
Well, French from France is different from French Canadian. They have a different dialect, and they have a different. They have different words too.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they do. There are some different words, I think. I believe. I could be wrong.
I only
But
learned the French Canadian swear words that they use, which are all based
oh,
on
they
the
use the
Catholic
church to swear, I think French do. They use
Well, I lived in
church
Ottawa
words.
for 4 years after high school, so I met all the French Canadians in college,
Oh,
and
okay.
and they taught me all the swear words.
And
They're
Cajun
all
French is
I
completely
love that
different.
movie. I haven't seen it forever. I will watch it again. Thanks, Diane. A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. We had to read the book when we were in grade school. In school,
Oh, really?
yeah, Tree Grows in Brooklyn. I can't remember because it was so long ago.
YouTube is called, oh, a great movie that is free on YouTube is A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. I never saw that. Who's in that movie? Oh, it's an old black and white
It's an old
movie.
black and white film. Yeah,
I like some old
I
movies.
do too.
I've been watching some old movies lately.
Those
There's
are
a
fun.
channel on TV
There's a
that
channel.
has like
Yes.
old movies on it. And the old, I don't know if anybody likes these, but the old Hitchcock,
Yes.
the old Hitchcock, not movies, but there's some old Hitchcock movies too, but the old Hitchcock series, I watch that sometimes and it's pretty cool. I think it's on, it might be on
Yes.
Netflix too.
Frenchie, you're right because that's what I was told too. Cancer and Scorpio
Thank you.
are a really good match. They're almost like soul and that's true. My ex was Cancer. And we met when we were freshmen in high school, and we hit it off very well. Um, but yeah, that's true. They're like our soulmates.
There was a program my son, my brother got to before he moved to Thailand to learn how to speak their language. And oh my God, that's a really hard language to learn.
What is it?
Some languages are harder than other languages to learn, but some languages are, oh my God, it's so hot in the house. Whew.
Is it hot in the house? Why? Sure.
81 degrees already, and it's only 10 to 11. Oh my goodness.
Do you have the air on?
I love all those. Oh, yeah, the air's on. We got central air, but I had the screen door open because it was cold this morning. Not cool.
Okay.
Black Dahlia Presents has old movies on her channel. Does she really?
Ooh. I'm gonna go
Does
there.
she still do, Samara, does she still do crime? She used to do crime. I don't know. Does she? When I lived in Europe,
Ooh.
I taught myself all kinds of languages with those little cassettes and books. Yeah, he had some program he got, and he had to learn basics in the but he told me a lot of the people in Thailand knew how to speak English, and he could get a lot of like sports shows and stuff where he was living. But yeah, oh my God, did he have a nice house when he moved there? Because it's really, the cost of living is really low over there. And he got this house with an in-ground pool, and oh my God, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful house. And they lived like within walking distance to the beach, and they got beautiful beaches in Thailand. Yeah, he lived there for about 3 or 4 years. Never went there. My sister did, but I never did. I think it's a 13-hour flight to go to Thailand.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a long, long flight. And he told me when they flew over there, in the flight, they give you slippers, they give you a blanket, they give you pillows, they give you when they give you your coffee, it's not in like a paper cup, it's in a china cup, like it's real, it's a real cup. And he just said they give you a nice pillow and you have leg room. It's not like the airplanes we fly in, it's the ones I've flown in, where you're all cramped up, you're breathing everybody else's air. But yeah, it's a long flight, so I guess that's why. But anyways, so what else is new, guys? I guess I've been abandoned. I've got to go and get dinner started. Thank you for the fantastic panel and chat. See you soon. Thank you to the panel. Thank you, Anna Mary. Thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't know what we were going to talk about today. Just kind of, you know, off the cuff. I'm glad Shauna came up. I really appreciate that she came up. I really appreciate that, actually.
Yeah, that was really cool, actually. A lot of people have confusion over how people that are in gender, what's the word? Transition, take to asking questions, because there's a lot of questions that we don't understand, things that we don't understand that we might think might embarrass them or offend them in some way. So it's nice to know that, like, when she was asked about that, she said a lot of people that are in transgender actually welcome questions, because it makes them feel more comfortable and more able to express themselves about, things like. And like for me, I just remember growing up when the first time I ever heard about a transgender, I was at the mall with my girlfriend when we were 17, and this boy came up and sat next to us and started like kind of flirting with my friend. And I thought it was a boy. And then a few minutes later, he left, and she said to me, "Well, he was kind of cute, right?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Yeah, he likes me." I said, "So are you going to go on a date?" And she said, I don't know. I don't know what to do." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Because he told me that he used to be a girl." And so she felt confused by it, because we were young. But she wasn't completely closed minded about it. I said, "Well, just do what you want. Don't worry about how you might think other people might think of it, Just if you want to, go ahead. You never know. Could be the one."
Bye, Anna Mary.
Well, and people say that about kids. Like, I took my grandsons to, a theme park, and there was a guy there with, he had his arm amputated and had like one of those hooks on his arm. And my grandson kept saying, "What's wrong with your arm?" Like, he's screaming at the top of your arm. "How come you have metal on your arm instead of an arm?" And I'm like dying. I'm dying. He goes, "Don't worry about it." He goes, "Kids are the most," he says, "I don't get," because he was little at the time, but he was screaming. I mean, we were going to get something to eat. He was asking him questions like, "How do you eat a hot dog with that?" You know what I mean? Like, he was asking the weirdest questions. And I was like telling him, no, that's not very nice. I was trying to like be respectful to this man. And he says, "Listen," he says, "I am not offended at all." He says, "Kids don't understand why," he says, "I'm more than happy to answer his questions." I mean, he answered his questions like, "I had my arm amputated, and in order for me to eat like everybody else, I need this," because it was a hook. It wasn't like with fingers or anything. It was like a metal, metal one that he could grab onto.
Bye, Diana.
He explained, oh, bye, Diana. So he explained it, and he said, "Kids are the most innocent. They don't understand what."
Right.
He said, "It's, the adults that say, that," and I can't imagine anybody being cruel to somebody that's got that kind of a disability. But I guess there are all kinds of people in this world. So, but he said, children's questions comes from innocence. He said, adults' insults come from ignorance. And that was a really, I think, good
That's
way of
it.
putting it.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
So, yeah. but I was mortified. I was mortified because they didn't even make, it was him and his cousin, and they didn't even make didn't even try to say it quietly or ask me, what's wrong. I just screamed it at the top. What's wrong with your hair? I'm like, oh my God, I could have died. I said, oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize. He goes, don't. He goes, they're just curious, So that was my out of the mouths of babes.
I
You know
always
what I
say
mean?
that. Out of the mouths of
Out of
babes.
the
I love
mouths
it.
of babes.
I love it.
They just don't really understand.
Mm-mm.
And they ask the questions, and he asked the questions. The funniest thing, and he even laughed, was when he said, how do you eat a hot dog? It's like, because we were at the food stand. He was right behind us, Oh my God, I could have died. I really could have died. I was just so mortified by him saying that. But he wasn't offended. He wasn't upset. Said no. He said it's a normal question. He said, it's something that they're not used to seeing,
Right.
and they're curious about it. And he says, I'm more than happy to answer their questions. And I was just dying. I'm like, what are they going to ask? What are they going to ask them? But yeah, it wasn't that bad though. But hey guys, I think I'm gonna close off for today. It's been 3 hours, so
Wow, it has.
yeah, it's almost 11.
Holy cow!
It is 11, and I'm getting a package today. I just got a message while I was I was live streaming that said my package is arriving. So I don't know how that happens. I guess I have email on here, and I don't know how to find it on my laptop. That's how dumb I am.
Did you order something?
Yes, I ordered the crystals.
Those crystals are arriving today.
Yes, I ordered a whole package.
Oh, nice.
It came to like almost $100. So, but some of them are coming. Some of them are coming today. Some of them are coming tomorrow. Some of them are not coming till the 20th or the 24th. So, but I think I'm gonna close down. Dory, thank you so much for being up.
Yeah, Dory, thank you.
I'll call you later. I'll give you a call later. I got to make sure
I got
there's
a message from my brother, and I haven't talked to him in years. I kind of estranged myself from my family. So now with the events that have just passed, everyone's contacting me that
Well, you have my number now, so if you want to call me, just call me. So bye everybody. Thank you, my moderators, for moderating my channel. I really appreciate it. I love you all.
Bye, you guys.
Welcome my new moderator. I just made someone another moderator today. So.
Welcome, new moderator.
I just have to make sure I have moderators in here, just in case, because other people have things to do. Because this morning, a lot of people are getting ready for work and, go off to work, or they have things to do. So, but I'm going to log off, and I'll probably talk to you later.
You're going to log off, boo-boo?
I'm going to log off, boo-boo.
Okay, then.
All right. I love you guys. Love you, Nanya. Thank you so much for being up here today.
Oh, thank you for
I
having me.
appreciate it.
Always.
Oh, anytime. All right. We'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody. Wait, I'll wave bye, even though I look like shit. Bye, everybody.
I'll wave bye. I'll wave bye.
Bye, guys.
Everybody,
and thank you to my panel guests, everybody that came up. Shauna, I'm going to name them all. Jenna Moon, Leo Wife, Misdemeanor. Who else came up today? Ems, Robbie, Nanya. Trying to think of everybody that came up today. That's all I can remember right now because my mind doesn't work so good in the morning. I did say her. Did you? I said Misdemeanor.
Jenna.
I said Jenna. Yeah. So everybody that came up, I really appreciate you coming up, and I love you all. And hopefully, cross your fingers, knock on wood, we'll see you this weekend. Bye, everybody.